to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry R. women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee.
A young slave boy stood one day before the greatest ruler of his day. And God said to Moses, "What's in your hand?" And Moses said, "Lord, only I've got a stick, that's all." He said, "Well, let me use what's in your hand." And God used that slave boy with a stick in his hand to divide the Red Seas, march through a wilderness, bring water out of rocks, manna from heaven, and bring his people to freedom land. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? George Washington Carver, who was so frail that he was traded for a broken-down horse as a slave boy. And George Washington Carver, sitting in the science laboratory at Tuskegee, told me, he said, "Dr. Powell," he said, "I just go out in the fields each morning at 5 o'clock, and I let God guide me. And I bring back these little things and work them over my laboratory, and that man did more to revolutionize the agricultural science of peanuts and of cotton and sweet potato than any other human being in the field of agricultural science." What's in your hand? Just let God use you, that's all. What's in your hand? I've got a string in my hand, that's all, and I'm flying a kite. And way up in the heavens, lightning strikes it. And I, Benjamin Franklin, discover for the first time the possibilities of electricity with a string in my hand. What's in your hand? Little hunchback sitting in a Roman jail? I haven't got anything in my hand but an old quill pen, but God says, write what I tell you to write. Paul wrote, "I have run my race with patience. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth is laid up to me." What's in your hand, little boy? All I've got is a slingshot. And the enemies of my people are great and big and more numerous than we are. Well, will David go down to the brook and pick out a few stones and come on back and close your eyes if you want to and pull back that slingshot and let it go. And David killed the biggest enemy, the leader of the giants, against his people, and his people became free, just letting God guide a stone in his hand. And a few years passed, and David is a king. And God says, what's in your hand? He said, I've got a harp in my hand. He said, well, David, play on your harp. And he played, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Leadeth me beside still waters. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? Man hanging on a cross? I've got 2 nails in my hand. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraws thyself from me, whither shall I go? And that man, with 2 nails in his hands, split history in half, BC and AD. And what's in your hand tonight, people of Cambridge? You've got God in your hand, and he'll let you win, because he's on your side and one with God. Always in the majority, so walk with him, and talk with him, and work with him, and stick together, and fight together. And with God's hand in your hand, the victory will be accomplished here sooner than you dreamed, sooner than you hoped, sooner than you prayed for, sooner than you imagined. Good night, and God bless you.
Greetings, Black family. Greetings, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. I'm your co-host and co-producer, Chad. Okay, Jesse Paris. We're waiting on Shabaka. I don't know where Shabaka's at, but he'll be joining us on this season 10, episode 40 of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We'll be discussing why integration is not for us economically. 1, do not vote for black political candidates, the majority of them, that is. 2, integration mainly benefited white women. And 3, open mic discussion. Is that you, Brother Pete?
Yep.
Greetings, Brother Pete. Black power to you. How are you?
Doing fine. All power to the people.
Always. All right, what are your thoughts on why integration is not for us economically?
Well, integration was never for us. We were better off without it.
Right.
You know, we stuck together. We had to believe in each other. We had to trust each other because we knew what they were about. You know, all integration is a what you might say a covering of their racism. Now they can tell you that racism doesn't exist no more because now you're integrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can drink from the same water fountain. You know, you don't have to go through the back door no more. You know, they got their little mechanisms to cover shit up. You know, but can you get that same loan that they got? Can you get that same house that they on that same block that they get their houses on? Come on, girl, move. Y'all have to excuse me. I have a cat that wants to get into everything.
Oh, Pete. Okay, Pete. So you lived through it. Can you tell the viewers what it was like before integration?
Before integration, we were tight. Before integration, we knew where we stood. We knew everybody on the block. Before integration, we lived as a community. It was a village. You know, I could actually, if I didn't have enough bread to make a sandwich, I could actually walk out my door, walk down the street to anybody on the street, knock on that door and tell them I needed a loaf of, needed some bread to make a sandwich, and they would give it to me. They wouldn't cuss me out. They wouldn't ask me, what am I knocking on that door for? They would give it to me because we knew everybody on the block.
Right.
Today, I don't even know my next door neighbor.
And let people know like what kind of businesses we had before. Like we had our own everything.
Yeah, we had our own businesses. We were able to. We knew who did what. It was tight. If you couldn't pay, if there was a family on the block that couldn't pay their rent, we would hold what we call rent parties.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mother and father would hold rent parties for people on the block that was short money of their rent. You know.
Yes.
Be short money of your rent today and ask somebody for $2 and see what you get.
Hell no. I can't help you.
You get more than that. You get cussed out if they don't sick the dogs on you too.
Yeah, that part.
You know, so I mean, integration was the worst thing that happened to us, but we fell for the okie doke.
Yep.
The question is, when do we stop falling for the okie doke?
Now in 2025.
2025. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't see that happening until 2030.
Okay, between now and 2030 then.
You got 5 more years of the okie doke. 5 more years. And I say that because it takes the 4 years of Donald Trump and a year after that in order to find out exactly what damage he's done or what damage we've done believing that he was that he was going to help us.
I mean, if you ask me, Biden didn't help us either. None of these presidents have helped us.
Well, I'm talking about the one that's in office now.
Okay. And what has he done to harm us specifically?
Excuse me?
Like
Repeat that?
What policy has he passed specifically to harm us right now?
Well, see, I live in Washington, D.C., so what's happening here, trust me, it's coming to a city near you real fast.
Okay, well, I just seen something recently where in 2023, the Democratic politicians in D.C. were begging for help, federal help, under the Biden administration.
What were they begging for help for? Don't just say that they were begging for help. What were they begging for help for?
For help with crime, to deal with the crime that was going on. I just on my show last night.
So are you suggesting that what Donald Trump is doing is a good thing?
I'm asking specifically, what is he doing that's harming us? So I keep hearing orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad. I've been hearing that since 2017. I want to know exactly what.
Let's do it this way.
Has he passed?
Let's do it this way. If you don't know, you need to find out. The man is following Hitler's playbook to the letter, down to the very micro dot. He's following Hitler all the way. You know what the results of Hitler's playbook was.
Yeah, genocide. So where is the genocide that's happening to us? I mean, it's been happening. It was happening before.
No. I'm not even going to get into that with you. If you don't know, I'm not going to get into that with you.
I'm very versed.
I'm not going to allow you to even try to do that.
I'm very educated, Brother Pete. So
okay.
I want to know specifically what policy did he pass that's specifically harming us? I know what policy Biden passed that specifically harmed us. I know what policy Obama passed that specifically harmed us. I know what policy George Bush passed that specifically harmed us. Bill Clinton, etc. What policy has Trump passed that specifically harmed us? Silence is everything. Okay, so getting on these black politicians. What are your thoughts on the Congressional Black Caucus? Brother Pete, what are your thoughts on the Congressional Black Caucus?
What are your thoughts on them? Give us your thoughts.
They're useless. They don't mean us no good. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, so Congressional Black Caucus. Do you agree that the Congressional Black Caucus should be disbanded? Because their statement does not benefit us. They for any and everybody but us. You look at these other caucuses, they do specifically for their group of people. You look at the Latino caucus, they do specifically for the Latino Hispanic caucus. They do specifically for the Hispanics. You look at the Jewish caucus, they do specifically for the Jews. The Black caucus do for any and everybody but us. So they need to.
I don't think they need to be disbanded. What I think needs to be done is that we need to get up and train our own in order to be a part of the caucus that will do something for us.
Okay, I agree with you there. So when you say our own, because currently the CBC is full of immigrants. So when you say you're our own, you're talking about American-born citizens, Americans that are from the soil, that know what our community needs.
I'm not going to play with schematics with you. I'm not going to play word game with you. I said our own. I know you know what our own means. I know that our listeners know what our own means.
No, they don't. Okay. That's too vague, sir. That's too vague, sir, and that's been part of the problem. That's why CBC needs to be disbanded. Because when you say our own, that means somebody that looks like you. That don't even mean that they share the same lineage as you. That don't mean that they share the same upbringing with you. We should have learned that from Obama. So no, that's why I said, what do you mean by our own? Obama was supposed to be the first black president, right? He didn't do nothing specifically for us.
There are people that would disagree with you.
Okay, and they can disagree, but I want to see receipts.
What's your thoughts of that? To say that he didn't do anything for us?
Well, first of all, sir, I worked on both of his campaigns.
Let's bring down the tension a little bit. Bring the tension down.
Hold on.
Okay.
No, because you're trying to make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. Look,
I didn't say that. I asked you what was your thoughts on. What did you mean? What are your thoughts on that? It ain't about whether you know what you're talking about or not. You haven't said anything for me to disagree with.
Give me the opportunity to answer. My thoughts is he did for any and everybody but us. I was here when he accepted the nomination for the Democratic Party. Like I said, I worked on both of his campaigns. I worked for the 2008 campaign and the 2012 campaign. He didn't help us one iota. In fact, he did more for other groups like the LGBTQ and all these other groups. So just because they look like us, they're going to do for us? No, we should have learned from Obama. That's what I meant by what I said. So when he said our people, That's what I meant, because Obama was not our people. But he looked like us, but that he wasn't of our lineage. That's what I meant by our people.
I'm talking about those of the diaspora that think like us. Those of the diaspora that look like us. Those are the diaspora that act like us.
Okay, those are the diaspora. So that includes Osambo, because Osambo is part of the diaspora. Osambo didn't do nothing for us. This is the problem that we're having
that's your belief. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not getting into that with you. So either you give me what you think and allow me to agree or disagree, or we can stop the conversation, because I'm not going to get into that with you. I see where you're going with that, and I'm not going to play that game with you.
I'm not playing no game with you, sir. I already gave you what I thought. I want to know what you think. I already said what I thought. So what do you think? I'm waiting on your response.
And I just told you you're not getting one. I'm not doing it with you. I know you heard that, but why are you continuously pushing at it?
Because that's the topic of discussion.
Okay, then
black politician.
Continue on with your discussion.
You're telling me I should support a black politician just because they black like me?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, then clarify what you said.
No.
Because you said those of us in the diaspora that think like us, that look like us.
Continue.
That hasn't gotten us nowhere in 60 years.
Wait a minute. Back up, because I said a little bit more than just that. What else did I say?
What did you say then?
What else did I say?
You said they look like us, they think like us, they like us. And I brought up Osambo. He's not like us. He didn't have the same upbringing that we did. Nobody even knew who the hell he was until the Democrats brought him to us. White Democrats, white liberals brought us Osambo. And exactly, twin. Nobody from the diaspora thinks like us. We're black first. The diaspora is not black first. So, Brother Pete, should we continue to vote for politicians just because they look like us? Or should we actually vote for something tangible? You know, tangible legislation, tangible policy that benefits us. Like reparations, for instance, like an anti-black hate crime bill. Or should we just continue to vote blue no matter who, and vote because the person look like us, but they're not going to do nothing for us, and they don't even have a track record of doing anything specifically for us? What do you suggest we do in regards to politics, Brother Pete? Should we just keep voting blue no matter who? Like we've been doing for the past 60 years? Should we just keep voting for politicians that practice malign neglect, like Dr. Claude Anderson has warned us about? Are you going to answer the question, Brother Pete, or? See. Yeah, I think he's over the subject too, because he's like completely checked out. Yeah, the old chair answered. I know the silence is golden. And like this is the problem we're having with the older generation. Like y'all have completely checked out, and now the younger generation got to deal with this madness. Y'all have checked out on us. I don't know where Shabaka is. I called Shabaka, he's not answering the phone. All right, since you don't want to talk about politics, Brother Pete, what are your thoughts on integration mainly benefiting white women? Brother Pete, are you going to participate or are you just going to remain silent? Uncle Ben, where are you? Yeah, he hasn't been too punctual lately. I don't know what it is. He said to show up, so I think he want a participation from the guests. So basically, this is what the older generation's done. They checked out. They checked out. They don't want to have these conversations. So, Brother Pete, do you think that we should demand something tangible for our vote? If we're going to vote at all? I know it is disrespectful. Are you at least going to address the questions in the chat? Like, what are you doing here? Yeah, this is the reason why we are where we are today. The older generation is checked out. Y'all were too concerned with partying and whatever else, and you completely neglected the youth. Now us youth got to deal with this stuff, but y'all demand us to respect you, but you won't even participate on this program. Right. That's why we only exactly. That's why we only deal with accomplished older people like Dr. Claude Anderson. All right, brother Pete. Well, I'm gonna bid you a farewell because I don't know what you're doing, but you're just like sitting here wasting time. And we're supposed to be having a discussion. It's obvious that you checked out. So have a good night. Not doing it. Not doing it. This is why the younger generation, like my generation, has completely checked out on these elders. Like these elders, these elders, because they're not elders. Elders actually put in work. Elders just sit up here and complain. Orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad, but won't tell us nothing that the orange man's done that's specifically harming us. Won't tell us what policy the orange man done passed that specifically is not beneficial or indirectly benefiting us. Won't tell us none of that. I asked him numerous questions. He want to check out. He don't want to hear it. Oh well, the orange man this, and then when I said, well, what about the politicians in D.C. that was begging for the federal government to help them? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, yeah, it was taking up for old Sambo too. The hell with old Sambo, and they're gonna try to educate me on old Sambo. Like, dude, I worked on both of his campaigns, both of them, the 2008 one and the 2012 one. Yep, he gave up like his generation did us, exactly. And we're supposed to have respect for them. Yeah, this is what Black First looks like. You just gonna completely check out and I want to answer no questions. You doing what the Democrats do. And much is lost in the sauce. And this who we're supposed to be looking up to. This is a prime example of what happened to the black neighborhoods between black youth and the elders, exactly. And it was the elders that was pushing for that damn crime bill too. My lock them up and all this. Okay, Shabaka, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put a clip on. I don't know what the heck. Shabaka, I'm on the air. I'm in the studio. My brother Pete was on. He checked out when I started going in on Obama. He didn't want to answer no questions. I was trying to have a discussion, a dialogue with him, and he completely checked out after I said, Sambo didn't help us one bit, and he wanted to argue with me about that. And then he was like, I'm not gonna say nothing else, and he didn't say nothing else. He just stood there, rocking in his chair, and I'm like, man, we were supposed to have a dialogue. So I need you to get in the studio so I can continue this dialogue, because it's just me right now. Okay. Shabaka will be joining us in about 10 minutes. I know it was a dead conversation, twin. Like, these older people benefited from MLK and Malcolm, yet they didn't do nothing with the momentum. I know. Didn't do a damn thing with it. It's like once they was assassinated, that whole energy just died with them. And instead they wanted to parlay and sleep with white women. But these same ones telling us you need to respect your elders, and if it wasn't for the elders, you wouldn't be here. You need to pay homage to them. No, we pay homage to the real ones, the ones that actually put in work for our people, not these old niggas. As TBA is always telling us, these old niggas just old fools, and we can't build with that. We can't grow with that. We can't go nowhere with that. And this is why a lot of the youth have completely disregarded the elders, the olders. For that exact reason, we try to have a conversation with them about why you keep voting blue no matter who. Oh, don't ask no questions. They act like the damn pastor. When you ask the pastor, hey, what you doing with the collection plate money? Why you got a new Cadillac? But the AC in the church is messed up. Oh, don't ask no questions. Don't ask why pastor doing this. Don't ask why pastor doing that. So we don't ask. That's why we don't even go to church no more. It's like we checked out of all that shit. This is a bunch of damn hypocrites. I know, very disrespectful, disappointing. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what Shabaka has to say too. The only ones that represented are the fallen leaders. Exactly. All he wanted to do was smoke a damn cigarette. Cause I struck a nerve with him. I said, what did Obama do? Having a black face in a high place ain't did nothing. And you want us to keep voting blue. Oh, well, Obama. Some people begged a different how. What policy did he pass that specifically benefited us? Oh, wait, he did something for DACA, which was a complete disrespect to Dr. King, because Dr. King was talking about a whole different dream, and he gonna name them dreamers, deferred arrivals, the children of the legal immigrants, and he helped the LGBTQ. That's all he did. He didn't do nothing to help the black community. We lost so much land under old Sambo. We lost so many houses under old Sambo. He'd rather bail out the banks than bail out black people. And we supposed to have respect for that dude? Hell no. It's like Messy Jesse Jackson. I am somebody. Say it with me now. I am somebody. And then when I ask him, who is our people? I'm not going to argue semantics with you. What? Are they of the lineage? This has been the problem. We've just been voting for people because they look like us, but they don't have no kinship with us. Yeah, old niggas ain't cool. Yeah, we lost our identity with old Sambo. We just happy to see a black face in a high place, and you see how that shit works. That benefited everybody but us. But all we hear is Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. Like, what? Well, I'm in D.C., and weren't your politicians in D.C., though, begging 2 years ago for the National Guard and all that? I showed that on the Frontline Black News yesterday. Them begging for the National Guard to come save them, to help them out under the Biden administration. Black Lightning, Black Power, greetings to you.
Hey, Black Power. So you're gonna do something on this? It's gonna be on this channel right here.
Yes, that's how Shabaka set it up. I have Brother Pete on here, but he checked out. He don't want to have a conversation with me.
Oh yeah, tell me it just started. Come back in.
He wasn't saying nothing. He was just there. Like I was trying to have a dialogue with him, and he just checked out.
Oh, well. Oh, we live now, huh? Okay. Send out some invite.
Yeah, Shabaka should be on here shortly too. I just got off the phone with him. But what are your thoughts, Black Lightning, about these black politicians? So we should continue to support them just because they look like us, or should we demand something tangible from them? They want
I might have to come back to that. Demand. You don't want to vote for them just because they're black.
Right.
Have an anti-hate crime bill for black folks and stuff like that.
Right.
Something for our people, other than just there having a black face.
Right. Like I was trying to dialogue with Brother Pete about old Sambo Obama. I said, well, we had Obama, but he didn't do nothing for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep that thought. I'm gonna try to jump out and see if I can send some invites out real quick. You got any documentaries you're playing tonight?
I can play one. I wasn't planning on it. I could just set the show up. He didn't really tell me what he wanted. He got a little itinerary of what he wanted to discuss, which was black and benefiting white women, but it was pretty much supposed to be an open mic discussion.
Sound good. Well, let me send out a couple of them myself. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Mm-hmm.
On here. Okay. Yeah, that voting for people just because they look like us is not getting us nowhere. Like Zora Neale Hurston said, all skin folk is not kinfolk. And we've been voting blue no matter who for the past 60 years, and it's not been benefiting us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we gotta get together. Mm-hmm. Where Lady Shay at tonight?
She's at home. I'm at the dollhouse. She's at the dollhouse.
Oh, dollhouse, something like that. Well,
I sent her the link.
Huh?
I sent her the link. So.
Okay. How about play that Adam Clayton Powell while we're waiting on people to get in here?
Yeah, I played it to start it off, but I can play it again.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. In that case, I didn't know. What's this here? Let me see what this is.
Okay.
The National Guard will be out on the streets of D.C. this morning. They're joining residents and police in an attempt to cut down on crime. Ron Talley is live at police headquarters with the latest. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Daria. If anyone thought that this latest crackdown on crime by Chief Larry Soulsby was short-lived, they can think again. It continues in mass. 15 more arrests yesterday in one raid alone. 2 weeks ago, Chief Soulsby promised to move his desk officers onto the streets, and now he's struck a deal to get neighborhood street patrols help from the National Guard. If nothing else, the sight of military-type vehicles set up for night patrols in D.C.'s residential neighborhoods gives the appearance the district is serious about its latest assault on crime. Members of the D.C. Air and National Guard are now helping police and neighbors patrol some of the district's more drug and crime-infested streets. The goal here is to interrupt drug sales that have plagued this neighborhood. Drug sales that have in the past led to violence and murder.
We're assisting the Metropolitan Police Department in neighborhood watch, crime prevention in the D.C. metropolitan area.
The other plan of attack to take back the streets includes full-scale raids on the drug dealers, like this one on an open-air drug market in Columbia Heights that netted some 15 arrests. With 80 to 90 officers taking part on this raid alone, it's the latest, most visible sign of Chief Larry Soulsby's all-out assault on crime in the district. Aimed not only at drugs, but also the gangs who deal them, and the rowdy night spots where they meet.
We are in this area to stay. We're in this area to help the community, take back the community so they can walk these streets and enjoy the same freedoms everyone else does.
Well, then one drug raid netted some 85 grams of crack cocaine, street value $10,000. Daria?
What have residents been telling you out there? Are they happy about this? Looks like a war zone.
Well, you know, that's what the chief had promised early on, that he was going to have officers in the streets so you could see them, not only so that citizens would feel safer, but so that those who are using drugs and dealing drugs would see the police and move on and stop.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ron Teller, reporting live.
Okay, Black Joe's in the corner.
Okay.
So Black Power, Black Joe.
B1, what's the word?
Black Power, bro.
FBA is here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the black politicians? Should we continue to support black politicians just because they look like us?
That should have been dead over 2 decades ago. That's why we at where we at now. That's part of the reason why we at where we at now. Blind allegiance and willful ignorance.
Yep. So on the itinerary for today's show was black politicians. Should we vote for them? Integration benefited white women more so than anybody, and an open mic discussion.
Well, I know no matter black or white, if they not doing anything to help the people, you know, so wouldn't want to vote for them just because they black,
right?
Or just because they Democrat, you know. Them days are over,
right? The days are over. The days of voting blue, no matter who, are over, and the days of just voting for a black politician because they black is over. They're gonna have some tangible, specific policy for us, like you said, an anti-black hate crime bill, some reparations, something. But these symbolic gestures, we're not going for that no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No more symbolic gestures. Joe was saying something about that politician lady. I didn't know too much about her. What happened with her? She got
the one in New Orleans that was tricking off with her bodyguard.
Oh, really? Okay, tell us about that. No, I thought it was another one down this way, but then again, that could be the same one.
Winsome chick too, the one that said that she thanked God for slavery, otherwise she'd be in Africa worshiping the tree.
Wow.
And then Letitia James, she's under fire too in New York.
Yeah, I think that's the
All of
one.
those black female politicians that have used their position to abuse their power and swindle and embezzle money, the administration coming down on them. All of them.
Yep, either tangibles or no vote, man. 285. Yeah, touch on that because the mayor of DC, Bowser, she's guilty of that. London Bridges, who was the mayor of San Francisco, she's guilty of that. What's her damn name? Michelle Wu in Boston.
Fannie Willis.
Yep, Fannie Willis down at ATL.
They just got their chick out of Dalton. They just got her out of Dalton. Like, my point about this is, it seemed like everywhere that they placed a black woman that was intelligent, that had power, she abused it, she swindled money, and she funded a lifestyle.
Right. Yep. Tiffany Henry, especially, the super mayor. She was doing the most out there in Dalton.
I'm shocked Fanny still ain't gone for threatening that man's wife that was going through the cancer treatment while she was sponsoring them trips and stuff through the forfeiture asset funds. Like, she was literally taking money from the forfeiture asset funds from civilians, taking an old boy on trips and making him divorce his wife and all kind of stuff. Man, it's diabolical.
Yeah, it is. And then what Karen Bass is doing out LA too.
The female judge that just went to jail for shooting her second husband in the head, like she shot her first one in the head. Like, it's a lot going on that get looked over because stay out of black woman's business.
That part. So I was trying to have this conversation with Brother Pete about what was happening in DC, because not a crying foul that the National Guard and all them are in DC, but just 2 years ago they was begging for the National Guard. It was begging for all this help to curb crime, and now that and now it's a problem.
And once again, black woman to the head of the class, because that black police woman and that black female politician in DC that was cooking the books and lying to the officials about crime being down, how that just came out. Like, it's a pattern here.
Yep, it's definitely a pattern in that.
As well as people can scream foul. This is my issue. Like, people can scream foul all they want to and feel how they want to. The feds would never be in DC if the discipline would have started at home. We're in a day and age where people don't want you saying nothing to their kids. People don't want you telling them nothing about their kids. But in the same breath, if their kid dies in the commission of a crime, oh my God, that was my kid. You didn't have to do that. He was just a child with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, we seen that with Tamir Rice.
But Tamir Rice, you can't compare Tamir Rice to what's going on in DC though. Like, this is politician back book cooking, and people up screaming foul. Like, the stipulate. Like, I had an issue with people telling folk in DC, you can have a gun in your house. No, you can't, especially if it's not registered. It has to be registered. And the way that DC is set up by being home to all the politicians, you getting you passing background checks, passing everything, and you're still liable not to get the gun because it's a politics-driven society, and they're watching out for the politicians that visit and frequent DC. Same way, if you're in the right place with a dinner reservation, you can lose your reservations because a politician or alderman wants to eat there that night.
Yep. But you see how I played that video yesterday where they was talking about, yeah, we need help, we need help, we need help. They was talking about that giant grocery store and how they had all that shoplifting going on, and how they need to stop that. And that was just 2 years ago, and now here it is 2 years later, and now, like you said, they're cooking the books. They're trying to say crime is down, and the crime ain't really down. But since it's a new administration, they don't want their help.
Yeah, that's the truth. We at a point where no one is looking at the things that the honest enemy is actually doing to benefit the people and clean the hood up. Because once again, the feds would never be in there if people simply had dominion or control over their homes. Like the issue right now, I'm seeing where I'm at in the Midwest, where we have excellent gun rights. People are literally scared of their children. They won't discipline their children. They won't reprimand their children. They refuse to hear anything negative about their children, but they accept the benefits and accolades that their children bring in from committing crime. The blind eye is turned until their children have to face consequences. And when they have to face consequences, everyone all of a sudden plays victim. Like where I'm at, I've seen so many kids get deleted in the process of committing crime, and the first thing the parent do is go to the news and cry. Well, they didn't have to do my son. He was just a child. Well, man, your son was in the commission of an armed robbery. So what? He didn't see the person that did him. He would have did anybody that would have argued with his armed robbery. So it starts at home, man. This isn't me bashing my people, but we got some ways. We've lost shame in our culture, and until shame comes back, we're gonna have to deal with the feds coming in to clean it up, and the state having to clean it up. Like this is consequences to actions, man. This is what they call belt to ass. So I land.
You're right, Black. Shabaki in the building. Greetings, Shabaki.
Hey, what's going on?
I was trying to stick to the itinerary about these black politicians. Should we continue to vote for them, or just because they vote?
Right. And then on top of it as well, too, is that's why they're not, we ain't getting nowhere. I'm going on Bluetooth right now. Just bear with me, okay? Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Okay, so when I it's got the title up here for what it is everybody benefited off that integrational stuff except us. You see what I'm saying? And then the cold part about it is, man, what has happened is that it went to be the norm. And what I mean by the norm is, okay, any other group that comes up here says, hey, man, we want to do this, we want to do that. Just like, with these illegal migrants and stuff like that, right? Okay, so then when we sit up there and say that we want to do something for ourselves, well, you guys are black racists, this, that, and all that other business, you know what I'm saying? And whatnot, you see? And then they still come to us with this other BS when we talk about our history, rather pro or con. What I mean by that, the good part and the bad part, then they always want to go up here and talk about, well, what about such and such, this, that, there, the other, which is a diversionary, deflectionary, you see what I'm saying? And it's a tactic, you know what I mean? And then as soon as we crumb bomb on, let's say, the opposition, well, just get over it, benign neglect, you know what I'm saying? We're all the same and all that. Then when it comes to them, well, how come y'all ain't out here, helping us? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. A big one. Tell me I'm lying.
No lies detected. And what's the twins' point? Why don't we have no fathers in the home, Shabaki?
I was just going to say something to.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say something to that. See, not only do the government, they have our government and their government's backing. One thing that they have that's been fleeing the men in our community is, regardless of what they go through, regardless of how aggressive the abuse is in the relationship, all these other cultures, including the Caucasian culture, including their feminist culture, they back their men and they continue to reproduce regardless of what rhetoric they spew. Only our culture, our women shut down and turn their back on us, and it's every man and woman for themselves. That's part of
Right.
the issue.
Right. And then the irony of it is that these black women who turn their back on themselves and go get with these cave dwellers, they sitting up there running their agenda. See, so the bedwitch syndrome is still there. They say, except it's just more sophisticated. And then, of course, when we talk like this, oh, you guys are a bunch of black racists. Just get over it. We're all the same and all this old kind of garbage. You see what I mean? And I call that hypocrisy. Tell me I'm lying.
No lies.
Hello?
It's Shabaka. So, why are there no fathers in the household? Well, Democrats are mostly to blame. They locked up majority of the black men in the 80s and 90s. So there's a lot that was raised with no fathers.
Exactly. You say, and then when you look at this righteousness and the music industry and entertainment, say they always emphasizing that. You say they always emphasizing that where the father, multi-convicted felon. He don't do for his kids and things of this nature right here. So we as black men got the internal struggle and got the external struggle. You say? That's the stuff I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. See, so that's what's happening, with all that. It's just downright madness, y'all. It really is. It's just downright madness. You see? It really is.
Right, Shabaka. So let the people know, like, how we went from segregation to integration.
Okay, we went from segregation to integration is because, you see, during segregation, we was forced to work with ourselves, right? Then here comes Dr. King, that I got a dream to march on Washington and all that. The person should be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Now, look at the twist that they're putting on us now. So then when we have individuals who ain't who are not into that, okay, then they start viewing us as black racists. And then the thing is this, is look at how every other group is benefiting off of us except us. Where's the problem? They say the problem, once again, is us. Why? Because we allowed this crap to happen. You see what I mean?
As I got older and reviewed the civil rights movement and looked at some of the things that they fought for, like wanting to be able to sit at these people's table and let these people prepare food for them who were probably poisoning the food. Man, when I sat back and observed it and I look at how things are today, see, I've been saying for the last 5 years, everything that our black women fight for through the state, they win, but they receive no benefit. This goes all the way back to the civil rights movement. When black folk as a unit fought for this, they won, but only benefit it really seems like our people have received since then is sexual access to other people. That's it. Exactly. Who fought, like, after all of these years of watching other races cook, from Indians to Hispanics? Like, some of them cook good. I'm not knocking them, but for the most part, the sanitary conditions and the ill things that they do when preparing food to their family, You want to go and eat in these people restaurants that are willingly going to spit and probably put fecal matter or something in your food.
Oh, yes,
It doesn't make sense to me now that I'm sitting back looking at it. We were a stronger unit as a people prior to segregation. And once again, looking at those leaders that were in control and put in positions of power over the community back then, it was about sexual access more than anything. Then followed up with, I want to eat that food. I just can't give. Who wants raisins in their potato salad? Like, and this is just me being facetious. If we go all the way back to back then, ain't no telling what they were putting in black people food that was sitting at their counters getting slapped upside the head and accepting their food and leaving the counter. You see how we cook as a whole. Why? Right. It just doesn't make sense other than sexual access, because after the movement was passed, there was this boom in interracial relationships, in particular black men messing with white women.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Now also too, what I'm gonna do, just like I did last night, Brother Che, I'm going here to Larry Elders, right? Larry Elders, my guy.
Chaz, if you're trying to get on, your connection, something's not connected right, so you might have to go out and come back in.
Okay. And plus that it's hot out here too. Now, according to Larry Elders, now get this here. Okay, you remember what this here, Brother Che? Racism is racism. Unfortunately, now this is Larry Elders talking, not me. Okay. Larry Elders, unfortunately, the questionnaire was typical. Many American blacks falsely and unfairly accused whites for Black America's plight. Bad schools, white racism, crime, white racism, underperformance on substandard tests, racist or culturally biased, right? Okay. To put it more bluntly, blacks simply despise whites. They assume white bigotry and hostility towards blacks and feel against all evidence that white racism remains an intense and formidable obstacle. According to Elders, that this is great nonsense, okay? So we are so convinced that white racism stops black progress, many blacks not only ignore obvious signs of progress, but viciously attack anyone, especially someone black who dares challenge their out-to-get-us point of view. To hold this view, as he does, that racism no longer represents a serious threat to black upward mobility, to feel confident and positive about race relations in America, that makes him a sellout, which it does, because you're being used as a pawn, man, right there to go against our very progress, okay? The questioner's attack on his views, philosophy, or ideology, but he says they don't question his views, philosophy, or ideology, but on him personally. And he takes three positions, earning the wrath of blacks first. First, he repudiated the Johnny Cochran doctrine in the O.J. Simpson trial. And then he states here, race plays a part in everything in America. And then he says he opposed race and gender-based affirmative action. And third, he believes O.J. Simpson butchered two innocent human beings. And for this, his people, quote unquote, called me the following: Oriole, Uncle Tom, Bootlick, and Uncle Tom, straight up Uncle Tom, Judas boy, bug-eyed, foot shuffling, sugarcane Negro, handkerchief head, Trojan horse, anti-black, pro-white, Remus Sambo, Sambo Tom, the Antichrist, Clarence Thomas supporter, sniveling weasel, evil ass kisser, coconut, wannabe white, nickering, nabob of negativity, and thus it's just an abbreviated list. You see what I'm saying? Okay, but see, Elders, that just tells me that you're on puppet strings. You see? I mean, really? Tell me I'm lying.
No lies detected. That's why we call them Uncle Elders. Uncle Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You see? That's the problem right there. You see? So somebody fell off. Okay, so until we address that, okay, we're always going to have problems. You
Kicking,
say,
kicking people
and
out.
the problems is within us.
Dynamite's back with me. If Chaz get on, your mic is not connected, Chaz.
He said he just listening in.
Okay.
All right, and please ask him to share that episode. Okay, yeah, because I see him right here. He's asking how everybody's doing. He has his mic muted, and Cam off at this time. He's in Virginia. Okay, another slave state. You see what I mean? And then too, is that when we address these issues, well, why don't you people pull yourself up by your bootstraps? You know what I'm saying? Well, look at this group, look at that group, and all that old type of stuff. Okay, V40 is winners. Okay. All right, V40, thank you for joining us, brother. Okay, I see V40. Yeah, there's V40. Okay, V40, unmute your mic, brother, join in the conversation.
What's up, Big
Okay.
B?
All right. And the topic is why integration is not for us economically. Okay. And so then another thing, too, that happens, people, is that when we go up here and try to do something economically independent, and I always will use Johnson Publications as an example. When the old man died, when Mrs. Johnson died, they left it to the daughter. She goes sells it to Time magazine. You see what I mean? That woman could have parlayed that wealth, man, in the movie studios, man, singing careers, for the blighted in the community. You see what I'm saying? But we got to start controlling our own essential services, such as medical care, such as grocery distribution, definitely farmland. You see what I'm saying? We got to control our own 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, risk management, and protecting our intellectual property. You see? That's what we have to do.
And we had all that prior to integration.
Yeah, you're right. You see, look what Barry Gordy did with Motown Records, prior to integration. He came up, they was going all over the place. But what happened? He sold it to Universal Music Group. You see? Universal Music Group sold all the catalogs, and what happened? And then you got the dumpsters out here stating how they really feel. House Negroes tell us we should forgive them. Let's hear some comments on that. Why should we forgive them? Exactly. We shouldn't. The silence tells me. You see what I'm saying? The silence tells me.
Quit playing with us and cut the goddamn check. We ain't forgiving shit.
Exactly. But that happened so long ago. You don't need to be forgiven.
Yeah, most definitely. We first big
sorry ass
right here. I
Bakari
don't know if y'all
sellers
can
up
hear me
there.
with this audio.
Yeah, well, see, man, that is all part of the shop.
Big Force, but can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So that's all part of the shop.
There you go.
Go ahead, brother V.
Big Force, Black Power, brother. I was just making sure I can hear brother Shabaka, but he sounds faintly away. I ain't know if I was even coming in.
No, I am. I'm on a Bluetooth, man, so I can get up and walk around, man. You know what I'm saying?
No
and
doubt,
I'm
no
up
doubt.
here using, I'm up here all thumbs with this stuff right here. And then we need donations for this platform, man. If you could donate $10, $5, $20, $100, man, it'd be greatly appreciated, because we're starting to pick up some momentum right now. And I'm going to ask everybody, to reshare our broadcast on their social media sites. You see what I mean?
For sure. That's automatic, bro. Yeah,
yes, sir.
I'm with you on that. I got you. But just on the topic you were speaking on a moment ago, I mean, forgiving is, that's thing is, conceptually, we got a lot of ideas and a lot of things we are putting into motion, and things that have either been constructed, utilized, etc. Listen, we already know we have to have a base of infrastructure. We know that we have to be working toward a degree of self-sufficiency. We know that
Absolutely.
we know that we got to have a military capacity to support anything that we basically look to do autonomously without their involvement or without their control. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of intricate parts. My thing be formulating it, being able to work cohesively to bring it into fruition without it being more divisiveness than cohesiveness.
Exactly. And keep in mind, you got the outside forces that prey on our divisiveness, and then they come about and they put their put their dirty work off in it. You know what I mean? Case in point, you're going to get your car's oil changed, right? Okay, like when you have a car and you want to keep that oil changed, right? So therefore, it's like us pulling up into the garage to get the oil changed, and then the opposition will take old oil and put it back off there where they drained out your old oil. Does that make sense? And what happens, man, with a car,
No
man,
doubt.
if you don't change the oil properly? It's going to break down. You see? It's going to break down. It's going to malfunction. You see? And then as more and more as it malfunctions, then you're going back to the same cat asking him to do this repair, that repair, this repair. So therefore, so what he's doing is draining you economically. You see? So therefore, we don't have, the educational capacity, or he belittles our educational capacity. Okay, little Ruby Ridges. Okay, we all know who little Ruby Ridges is. The little girls going to school 5, 6 years old, being a little baby, and they got the National Guard all around there. You got these white folks out here saying, they don't need to go to school with us, and this, that, there, the other. You see what I'm saying? And what have you. You say, and it's crazy. Okay, Chaz is trying to join us. Okay.
Yeah, he's just listening, Shabaka.
Oh, okay. All righty. Okay. All right. So therefore, man, so we got to look at that. You see what I'm saying? We got to look at that. You see, and there's nothing wrong with us doing for ourselves. You see, nothing. Say, and every time that we do go out there, to the oppressor, to beg them, to let us sit at their lunch counter, to work their jobs and what have you. What are we doing for ourselves and the generations after us economically, except countermanding the progress of that? See? And then also, too, we got to check. Yeah, and then we also got to check on neocolonialism. They say throughout the whole diaspora. You see what I mean? We got to check on that. You see? Because every other group is benefiting off of our natural resources except us. I mean, tell me I'm lying.
Absolutely. But that, that comes into us harnessing those things.
Right.
Production is always going to be key to a group, whether they are autonomous, whether they are, a part of a larger structure that is kind of politically guiding or controlling them or whatever. Regardless, our ability to produce is going to make all the difference. Even if we did have a political and a military aspect, we had we had pretty much everything constructed. If we don't have the ability to produce the things that our people are essentially accustomed to having,
right.
even just beyond the necessities, even, to give up certain quote unquote comforts or conveniences. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, our people, just mentally overall, not saying that it's impossible, but it would take a real shift amongst a large, let's just say a large demographic of our people to move the needle in order for the rest of the group to be willing to accept certain things or sacrifice
Right.
certain things in exchange for our liberation. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we gotta. we have the best intentions in the world. We have the best strategies in the world, but we gonna absolutely have to have a way to make, manufacture, develop pretty much all of the technological advances somehow. And for the sisters and brothers who, and this is something I emphasize, for the sisters and brothers who recognize that in the long term, the longevity of the success of this, they recognize that we have to have a relationship internationally with other producers. Mainly our natural expectation would be it to be with Africa, with whatever countries or whatever nation states or whatever whoever over there be willing to exchange and trade with us potentially. You know what I'm saying? They would be, maybe just a business alliance essentially, but having a rapport, having a line of communication, not any type of preset barriers or opposition already in place where you beefing or have a let's just say a conflict between y'all that'll prevent y'all from being able to explore that if it ever becomes a viable solution to a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You say, and then when it does become a viable solution to the problem, once again, man, they come out here and they kind of man everything that we're trying to do. You see, it kind of mans everything. And it's kind of like that they are coming up with new racial slurs for us every day. First, it was the NGR word, porch monkey, jigaboo. You see what I mean? They all look at us as thugs. They say, just like you saw up there, man, in Washington State recently, where the white racist goes out there and shoots this brother, a veteran, in a wheelchair. They say, because what does the white fella say? Show me your ID to prove that you are a veteran. The man is in a wheelchair. Why would he lie about it? But then you just go shoot him. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and then Joe's got in here now. We got about, okay, now let's address this here about these foreign Negro pens. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm hoping that Ibrahim Traore is doing the right thing. You see what I mean? I hope he is. I hope that he's trying to, you see. But then in the whole scheme of things is these tethers, these sellouts, you see what I mean? They up there are kind of managing our progress as well, too. And then these dumpsters are making it or stating how they honestly feel. You see what I'm saying? And what have you. And then we see Brother Chaz out here. Okay, Brother Chaz, just unmute your mic and add yourself to the stage, because we got 6 people in here.
Yeah, he's just listening, Shabaka. He's having issues connecting his mic or something. But he said in the private chat he was just listening. Yeah, we got these positions of power too, Shabaka. We got tellers in the CBC. We got tellers mayors and governors, city council members that's undermining our progress here in America.
Mm-hmm. And that white man that shot that black man in the wheelchair, he was shouting, asking him for ID like he the police or something. And people just stood around and ain't do nothing,
Exactly.
That's how they do.
Exactly.
They feel that they have the authority to question you. You could be in your own damn house and they ask you, do you live here? Of course I live here, mofo.
And that old man has been in a wheelchair. You think that somebody would have bust that man with a chair or something,
Yeah.
Especially when he started backing up, reaching in his bag. Somebody should have grabbed him right then and there.
Right. Yeah, because his intent was clearly obvious. You see what I mean?
If I saw him backing up, reaching in his bag, I'd have clobbered his ass.
Yeah,
he might have been going in there for his telephone. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, you see, and then how he vehemently is telling the brother, "You don't walk up on me." In other words, he was sounding like the old slave trade, the old white supremacist. This is what I call the Negro Correction Act. You know what I'm saying?
And he's gonna tell everybody it's okay, everything's okay after he shot this elderly black man.
Yeah, you see
And
what I'm
obviously
saying?
he was handicapped too. Obviously,
No,
no threat at all.
Brother, that's the point that I'm making. The man is in a wheelchair, just like in Paramount, California, where the police went and shot this disabled brother with no legs. You see?
And I think it was because he was claiming that he wasn't a veteran.
Yeah.
Say so, Dynamite. It was I'm white and I say so. I'm gonna ask you, and then you're gonna give me the answer. And if you don't give me the answer that I want, then
He took his patch from him too, some kind of patch, like a veteran's patch or something.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? And then the cold part, black family, you got to look at of all our family members and relatives and our people in general who had their loved ones going into war zones, man, from the Revolutionary War all the way up to the last one they had. What was it? Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom or something like that. And then when our veterans come back, man, look how they get treated. Say, like the Harlem Hellfighters.
Burnt alive in uniforms, the devil punch.
Yeah, all that.
All of that.
Yeah. And then, of course, when you look at that movie, A Soldier Story, they say, what was that brother who was the sergeant? I forgot the actor's name, but he was a stage actor, and he used to do a lot of voiceovers that I remember before he got the part. But it was a scene where he was sitting down there drunk, and the white boys beat him up, and he's talking about how he hates himself. See, how can a society gear people to hate themselves? Through the media, the way of how we betray, of how they treat us, just like who was the brother that came up with the Green Book, man, during the 30s and 40s when he had the mass migration of everybody coming out of Cleveland, the Chi, New York City, heading out there to Los Angeles, California. You see what I'm saying? And then look how they treat our black women in Hollywood. Look at Dorothy Dandridge. Look at Diane Carroll. You see what I mean? Look at a movie called The Imitation of Life, and I'm going to keep emphasizing that. And if that movie didn't make you cry, man, you ain't human. You know what I'm saying? And then in the chat, we got Joe saying, amazing that the Congressional Black Caucus tethers hated on $5,000 a head in reparations in California. Newsom wouldn't let them take it off the books. $5,000 a head, man, you better put a couple of zeros behind that. In California, you got the money to pay that. You know what I'm saying? As high as you all charge in taxes.
There's real on how much we're owed for reparations, but to know that the tethers had an opportunity to really usurp reparations by letting California screw themselves for $5,000 a head, and their spite and hate said no reparations for American Negroes. That was amazing to me.
Well, okay, I see your reasoning on that, but you see, brother, I was not surprised by that. It's because I grew up in that raggedy ass state, number one. And then plus that, you know, they got, you know, they handpicked Negroes, you say, that will sit up there and will endorse this crap. And Sister Maxine Waters, you're 85 years old now, sister. You did your time. You need to go on and retire and let some of that young blood come in there, Maxine Waters. And hey, and I appreciate the accomplishments that you made and what you tried to do, particularly during the Clinton administration, where she and Julian Dixon tried to get to the bottom of the crack cocaine epidemic in the black community.
See, brother, my point.
Yes, go ahead.
My point about the $5,000 per head reparations, if they would have let that transpire, like really the CBC really stopped this. If they would have let that happen in California, they could have usurped the entire black nation in America, because it would have set a limit on reparations per person. Are you following me on that?
Yes.
But because they despise us so much and gave them immigrants over 250 million in illegal housing and gave us nothing, like they literally took it off of the ballot, and Newsom fought them and put it back on the ballot. And Newsom knew what it was, because if it would have passed, that was right up Newsom alley. $5,000 per person ain't nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. But their hatred for us it's crazy that I'm going to say this. Their hatred for the Negro American tether Negroes, Negropeans' hatred for the Negro American is higher than the Caucasian Americans' hatred for the American Negro. And I land my plane.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense right there, man. You know what I mean? And then on top of it, okay, is that if we pool our resources, because we got so many brothers who know auto mechanics, that know construction, that knows masonry work, that knows electrical construction. You see what I'm saying? Okay, we got the tools and the intellectual capacity to do this. You see what I mean? But as Brother Paris had pointed out when we was on Blog Talk a few years ago, is that it's the tethers doing this, and this is too much like right. You know, it's the tethers, the ass scratchers, the yassa bosses that's throwing the monkeys in the ring. So therefore, you know, they can go get with these white folks, particularly out there in Hollywood and all this old type of stuff. Look at all the black talent you have in Hollywood, but they don't control the narrative. The classic point of this, Brother Chaz, you had pointed out, man, and please emphasize that again. The black exploitation films of the early 1970s that saved Hollywood.
Yep.
I land my plane for now.
Yeah, so Hollywood was in the dumps up until the blaxploitation era, and the blaxploitation era single-handedly saved Hollywood. That's how they was able to make Star Wars and all the other films that came afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, they kept it real, kept it real to the streets, to the scenes, the way it was, you know, kept it real to the times.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Shafts, Superfly, Coffee, 5 on the Black Hand side.
JD's Revenge.
Yeah. Now the part, one of the films that they made to find out, man, they must have prophesized this in the future, although I've never seen it, called Three the Hard Way with Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly. And they had uncovered the plot that they were going to exterminate us through the water.
Yep. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, there's life in the water, but that's if it's moving, but they got it stagnant, so it ain't no life in it, you know? And then the plastic bottles, that harms the water. Need to be like in some glass bottles, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And that purified water ain't nothing but toilet water. They good spring water, real spring water, you know, for it to be alive, you know, so to be alive, you know. Yeah.
Well, here's a project for somebody down there in the South, since you're all in the middle of hurricane season. And then they could do the same thing in the winter out here when the rains come here, man, and set up our own water infiltration plants. You see, this is why we must emphasize self-sufficiency for our water, for our food. And a lot of our people got great knowledges on agriculture. After all, look where we come from, Africa, which is the mother of agriculture. They say, rather if we come from there directly or indirectly. You see what I mean? And then to the evidence that we had been here or had circumnavigated the globe, man, I'm gonna say on that there, Brother Che, we've been doing that at least 1,000 years.
Okay. At least 3,000 years. Like we showed you how the hell the cocaine end up in Kemet.
Okay, and I've been going through the books, man, trying to find an answer. Give me some more time. Give me some more time, you know. And then on top of it as well, too. Now, Brother Che, to get more on your point about that, is it possible? Okay, in fact, I'm not going to say is it possible. I'm going to state it as a fact. That did we have major trade routes, man, you know, during the ancient times?
Yes.
With Abu Bakari? who was the brother of Mansa Musa. And then, of course, as you know, when Abu Bakr had left, he went to his younger brother, Mansa, and says, okay, man, you running the empire now. They say, because we got okay, Joe came back in, so I'm adding him to the stage. Okay, so I'll mute your mic anytime you're ready. Okay, now, keep in mind, too, Black family, don't you think we also gave the world the concept of navigation? Because this is why I'm trying to get in touch with Ashwa, calling Dr. Kwesi, calling Dr. Ashwa. Well, in his writings that he had proved that the Great Pyramid is dead center of the Earth's landmass. You take the base multiplied by the height, it will give you the exact distance from the Earth to the sun. Say, we were some bad folks. And what I mean by bad, I mean bad in the positive sense. We were awesome. We were dynamic. You say, why do you think all these other groups want to sit up here and lay with our women and all this old type of stuff? Yeah, Joe, you're right. Water has been used as a weapon for centuries. You see what I'm saying? Because you need water to stay alive. It's 101 degrees out here in this daggone desert at 7:37 p.m. You think I ain't got me some water? You know what I'm saying? Okay, now according to Joe right here, who is the Black inventor of water out of thin air? Moses, Wes Moses, West inventor of the atmospheric water generator. Now, is that Moses from the biblical stance, or is this another brother named Moses? They say, I'm not the most brilliantest person that there is, dadgummit, but I ain't stupid too either. I ain't stupid either.
It's another brother named Moses, and if I'm not mistaken, he ended up coming up missing.
That part. Very, very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
I always see these people going down into the water.
He's not missing. He turned up along with that young man that's creating diesel fuel out of plastic. They both turned up. They both kind of went on a young hiatus because of the death threats they've been getting. As you can remember, that black man that had his truck running off of hydrogen that worked at that shopping center, that white boy went and shot up in on the East Coast. Remember that?
In Buffalo.
Buffalo. So the catch to this is, Black family, if you are intelligent enough to come up with these ideas, it's money in patenting them, but it's liberation and seem like leaking the details to these inventions versus covering them and trying to get paid off of them because you die with the details.
Right. And as they say, you know, when an elder dies or when a knowledgeable person dies, you know what I'm saying, goes a whole library. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's why we teach the next one, the next one in line. You know, everybody's supposed to be teaching up their replacements. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You say that part. You know what I'm saying?
From even the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. From one to the next, over 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. That came from him. I didn't even know it until recently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he passed it down, you know, and then I heard Khalid Muhammad saying it, you know. So. But I know we got the ice wall to factor in now. But yeah, the water, I know they poisoning the water. Got us drinking toilet water. Yeah. Except the spring water. Now I see a lot of people going down to the watersheds where they have the pure. I mean, the water's coming out of the wells and stuff.
Yeah.
The springs, the spring water, and people
Yeah.
down there are getting that water with like the old fashioned way, like grandma and them used to do. Get the stocking and put it in the top of that thing and fill it up with the water and then use the stocking as a filter.
Filter.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We used to have a lot of
Yeah.
spring water. It tastes better too. Yeah,
Yeah,
tastes
it
way
do.
better. But now
Yeah,
they
it
got
do.
stagnant water. It's just like a pond. You go down to a pond and the water's stagnant, ain't moving, and they got all the mosquitoes, And then I go down to the lake, I go down to the river, and where the water's moving, you ain't got no mosquitoes.
Is that right?
Yeah, the water
Yeah.
moving, so it's still alive, But down there, shoot, some of them spots where it's like hot and muggy, nothing but mosquitoes and the water just sitting still. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Let me see how nothing
Okay.
looking
Yeah.
like.
Okay. Now we got some comments here in the chat that I'm gonna read if this computer decides to act right. Okay, it's because brother posted Moses West, a retired U.S. Army Ranger, is the inventor of atmospheric water generator, AWG. Okay, this machine extracts moisture from the air and condenses it into clean, potable water. West's invention has been used to provide water to the communities in need, including those in Flint, Michigan, and Puerto Rico. He founded the Moses West Foundation to further his mission of providing clean water to the world. And Joe says, funny, no African invented it. I thought necessity breeds innovation, though. Okay. And Nature Jab is a social media presence associated with Julian Brown, who posts videos about science education, particularly on turning plastic into fuel. Nature Jab has a presence on TikTok and Instagram. And then also, too, created an Instagram account, you know what I'm saying? And trying to utilize that some more, because I like to see, man, if we can get, 10,000 listens up here if we can, folks. You know what I'm saying? And what have you. So for the minute now, I land my plane. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say this real swift to your point, brother, about self-sufficient. Um, we got like I don't know how many directories or variations or modernized versions of like a green book. It's like a directory listing of just different black businesses. Between those, the ones that are already available, and then collecting the data on the ones that aren't necessarily listed, at least we would have a general picture of what it is that we do make or produce for ourselves. And then from there, I feel it's a multitude of ways that we could proceed from there. Obviously,
Right.
that it would be a potential of creating a more modernized green book that would give sisters and brothers full access. A part of us developing this self-reliance is accessibility. Many sisters and brothers who do have black owned businesses or provide goods and services, it's may not be known to everybody in their vicinity per se. And then depending on what it is that they provide, it may not necessarily be a service that can be transported hundreds or thousands of miles away perhaps. So us being able to at least collect that data, being able to create it in a digitized form where sisters and brothers can of course search it by zip code or search it by maybe item or product or service perhaps, that will create that accessibility at least initially. And then from there, we could always see in certain demographics or areas where there are needs. Not only is that a way of further autonomizing ourselves, if we can position those things, it would also be lucrative for the sisters and brothers who could invest in those things, because you basically would have a complete monopoly on whatever that demographic is. As long as we can start
That's
to
what I'm talking
motivate.
about.
you know, and gear the people towards, you know, buying black or purchasing black, etc. You know, it's more to it. I ain't gonna sit there and just go on and on, but you know, it's it's complex, but it's not like you know, rocket science. Like it's just really just logic. But go ahead, brother. Land my plane, as they say.
Yeah. See, you're absolutely right on that. Okay. And then when we was with Blog Talk Radio, okay, and we would say such things about being economically self-sufficient and things of this nature right here. Okay, then all of a sudden we're called black racists. Then all of a sudden they want to be with this all-inclusive shit. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as we try to do something for ourselves, isn't that what they call Brother Nkrumah or monolithic, doing for self or what have you? You see?
Monolithic means that we all the same. We got basically.
Okay.
We're not a monolith.
Okay. All right. I stand corrected. You see what I'm saying? But I know one thing is this. If we don't hurry up and become self-sufficient black family within the next 10 to 20 years, then it's a wrap. You see? It's a wrap if we don't become self-sufficient. You see, this is why old Dumpster, when it says, I'll get rid of affirmative action, best news I could have ever heard. You see what I'm saying? It's because integration mainly benefited white women.
Right. Affirmative action didn't benefit us at all. As Dr. Claude Anderson said, it was supposed to be corrective action for what happened during chattel slavery in America and what happened during Jim Crow.
Yeah. You see, and then I'm seeing over here on social media, you know, black folks screaming, "Oh, well, the dumpsters are racist and this, that, and what have you." And then, of course, look at the agenda they try to push on our youth, who are trying to get our youth hell bent on self-destruction. Look at major media outlets. You see what I'm saying?
No doubt, brother. Well, I say this to your point. You were saying that we got we got like 10, 20 years. I'll say this. Obviously, we got ample time to continue to get violated. You know, if we just want to remain subject to their mercy and their rule and their control and anything else they decide to dish out over the next 20 years. We got ample time. But in terms of a window of an opportunity, right now they're going through a lot of reconstruction governmentally. They're making a lot of quote unquote unprecedented moves that ultimately aren't completely scripted, as in there isn't a guaranteed outcome, and they're having to react to much of what's going on internationally as well. So they're forced to face many battles on multiple fronts. Now, that's an opportunity for us as a group if we utilize it the best way. But if we allow them enough time to reset, reposition themselves, and get comfortable again, then it'll be a disadvantageous situation. I mean, it's disadvantageous either way, but it'll be even more so. And because of all of these new, let's say, cultural shifts that they have going on within themselves, that we are ultimately being impacted by, the type of people that they may be over the next 20 years could be somewhat different in terms of their political and economic agendas and how that involves and engages us as a group. So that's why I'm emphasizing the point about the time. Yeah, of course we do got time. Until the earth is no longer here, until the last one is gone. We always got quote unquote time. But in terms of a window of opportunity that works to our specific advantage, our unique circumstance, that's now. You feel me? Anyway, gotta do your thing, brother. Big folks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, without a doubt. They say, and then too, they got their plants. You see what I'm saying? On us. You see, and then of how they are misguiding our youth, particularly there, you know, in these public indoctrination centers. You see what I mean? You see? Because this is where they okay, for an example, when you're in middle school, right? Or out here in the West, they call it junior high school. Back East, they call it grade school. Because back East, you go to grade school from the kindergarten to the 8th grade, and then you go to high school for 4 years from the 9th to the 12th grade. But out here in the West, they got you going to high school starting at the 10th grade, okay? So then what it happens is in that age group, you start learning all this negativity stuff. Say, killing your own, you know what I mean? Keeping our young boys in detention. Okay, and I don't know how they do it there in the East, but out here you got the youth authority. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a career criminal at a young age, like 16, California is sending you to CYA, the California Youth Authority. So now what it is doing in the youth authority is preparing you to go off into the state's penitentiary system. You see what I mean? Yeah, you see.
You talking about
they know what they do.
You talking about the school to prison pipeline, Shabaka, and shout out to Sister Bianca. She said that your free reduced number that becomes your DLC number.
Oh yeah. I do remember the sister doing a video on that there about a year ago. Yeah, what she's right about. You see, so now what's happening is that you be being conditioned to be solely dependent on the state. You see what I'm saying? Like, like how you got a lot of our youth that goes out here and goes into these stores, with this swarm of just going in there taking stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's robbery in the second degree because you're taking somebody else's property in their presence, you see. So the media does a lot, to propagate this here as well, too. So now when white folk see this, then they become bold, such as killing old black men in wheelchairs and carrying a 9mm. You see what I mean? And then gets recorded on it. And I don't know if that dude has been arrested or not. Okay, then you get these black police chiefs who are figureheads in these police departments that's operated by the good old boys, you see. So they just got him up there, what do they call that, as a figurehead, but no actual authority. Just like the brother who was sitting in his car and they bash out his window and the cop hits him with a straight left. They say, well, what was that there? Pinellas County, Florida, I think, Brother Che. Yeah, Pinellas County, Florida. And I've been through Pinellas County, Florida. It's down in near Tampa. You see what I mean?
It wasn't Pinellas, Shabaka. It was Jacksonville. And they let that cop talk, too. That cop face no charges.
Yeah, you see? Just like those cops that killed that brother there, man, who was lying on the bed and they handcuffed and they beat him to death in New York State. No charges pressed. Just like there in Tennessee. No, not Tennessee, Kentucky, with Breonna Taylor, black attorney general. Oh, I'm not pressing no charges. Look at the business they getting ready to send Letitia James through in New York State. Look what they did to Fannie Willis. And then not to mention our other sister there in the Freddie Gray case in Maryland. You see? You see what I'm saying? So these black prosecutors and black law enforcement officials, they starting to throw them to the wolves as well. Tell me I'm lying. I land my plane. The coin of phrase.
I'll say the sisters and brothers who are cognizant and aware of history and choose to explore opportunities over, for their self-gain over the interest of the group. Once they get in these positions, they basically serve their own interests with little interest to the group is more of a common thing versus sisters and brothers who actually get to occupy these positions and have the intentions of utilizing them for us specifically. Now, in a lot of cases where you do get a sister and brother who is in position, who looks to do such, even if it's based on, I'm not going to say limited knowledge, but just limited knowledge on how far we have, or how much potential we have as a group, rather, and what options we have at our disposal. But for the ones, who are genuinely intended, regardless of that knowledge base, many of them end up being undermined by the other people who occupy that shared political space with them. I was speaking to a brother who is the mayor of a smaller town here in the Carolinas, and I was looking to engage him, in which I, have retained contact. But the brother is, even though he may not be on some flat out autonomous or sovereigntist controlled, he gets the concept of it. Nonetheless, even with the work he is trying to do as far as empowering a predominantly black town, uh reshaping the economic structure, or recirculating the funds rather back into them specifically, or their community, uh he's being undermined by the county. He's being undermined by the other councilmen, just other working pieces and parts that's in the way. That's why I emphasize so much about utilizing reform and utilizing political seating and different programs that go through the government or through some form of government structure, but not relying on that as being the end all be all. Allow that to be a shorter term plan, a part of a longer term plan, which does lead to us being in an autonomous position where they can't come in and utilize their political or economic overbearance or control and undermine anything we decide to do now or later. Whether they agree with it now and in 20 years they decide to change their mind, or their political economic interests change and they decide that they need to do this in their best interest, that won't factor or make a difference if we are a more self-reliant people, if we are gearing ourselves to be politically sovereign. So whereas there is no jurisdiction for them to come in, at that point, it's a matter of military capacity. So it's us being able to defend ourselves, in which we're already in a position where we should be defending ourselves, because even though we haven't picked up arms as a mass group, that hasn't eliminated or prevented them from killing us in numbers, or systematically extracting over spans of lifetimes pretty much any and everything we have to offer, all the talents, all the skills, all of the gifts, everything, basically extracting it for their own economic benefit, extracting it for their self-determination and their progress. So that's what I usually say when we look to make moves. Always try to keep the long-term agenda in mind. Don't forget about the latter, because it's we're gonna have to cover that bridge one way or another. You feel
Oh,
me? Anyway, big
absolutely.
flows.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Everything you spoke there was undisputed truth. Just like when Trey was on last night, and he was talking about the storms hitting down there in South Carolina. And of course, as you know, South Carolina was a major slave port down there in Charleston, you say. So, and as y'all notice, the hurricanes originate off the coast of Africa, you see. Now, is that there the part of ancestors speaking? Because so many of our people were thrown off the ships, you know what I'm saying, as they passed away, due to disease, squalor, and there's another term that you got on people on top of each other, compacted. You see what I mean? And then we still preserved here. I'm talking about the ones that made it, you see? And then, of course, you know how they put their systemic self-destruction patterns in us on that time, starting with the second generations mainly that were brought here because they had a whole lot of problems. Okay, the jet stream. Yeah, there you go, Black Joe, the jet stream. Because you had a whole lot of them, the first generations that did put up resistance and rebellion. Okay. But the ones, the second generation, I'm talking about the first generations that were born in captivity and raised in captivity, of how they spread it on down to generation after generation with the Willie Lynch doctrine. You see, what was that, 1713? You see what I mean? So all through the 1700s, halfway through the 1800s, you know, the Civil War business, like we did on the story that we did on Martin Delaney. And if anybody is out there listening, please check that brother out, because he placed great emphasis on his African heritages, because he was, let's see, grandparents, one generation, then the ones that were brought here, okay, what they call that there, the voyage, okay. So then he had one generation born here, and he was born, you say. And the man was very, very smart and intelligent, and he became a doctor, going out there treating the, what was the main disease that he was treating, Brother Che? Typhoid fever.
Yeah, it was either typhoid or tuberculosis. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me go back and see.
Yeah, because I got some notes right here, and we got this stuff stacked on top of each other. Okay, but as soon as we mention that, you know, 1712, the Willie Lynch letter. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you can see they placed great emphasis on making Black men docile. Let's say. Then they place great emphasis on us killing and debating and arguing with each other. A house divided within cannot stand. But then what's that white fella doing? Constantly helping yourself, man, to your daughters, to your sisters, to your wives. You know what I mean?
It was cholera. It was cholera.
Cholera. Okay, cholera. I knew it had something to do with the water. Yeah, okay. So then, and we just supposed to stand there and be complacent with this. So of course, as you can see of how the Black family units got shattered up with marital issues, okay? Then after the master violates your woman, sends her back to the slave shacks, then what happens was that she-devil is getting jealous. And the she-devil says, like in the motion picture Mandingo, you see what happens after that. You see? And you remember when we covered Mandingo, Brother Che? You see?
Yep.
Yeah, see? So you look at this systemic stuff, and then keep in mind this stuff is so ingrained in us, okay, that we perpetuate it on its own, like the Willie Lynch doctrine. You know, and if you implement this procedure, that you will keep these Negroes under control for the next 300 years. Now, I ask you, Black family, okay, 2017 was the 300th anniversary of it, right? So now, 2020, 308 years his doctrine has worked. 308 years. See, and we still perpetuate this stuff. That's it. And I yield, Brother Che.
Yeah. Jury's still out on if the Willie Lynch letter actually existed, but based off of what contemporaries have said, it has divided us for about that time from 1712 till now. So yeah, 2012, that would have been 300 years. So yeah, 312 years, 313 years.
Yeah, and I pulled it up right here. All right, now. Okay, now listen to this, people. This is from Wikipedia. Now, this is Wikipedia. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of this here, but I just want to cover this point right here. The William Lynch speech, also known as the Willie Lynch letter, is an address purportedly delivered by Willie Lynch William Lynch or Willie Lynch to an audience on the bank of the James River in Virginia in 1712 regarding control of slaves within the colony. In recent years, it has been widely exposed as a hoax. Now I'm going to check this crap out, man. Okay. All right. Okay.
I've heard talk of it being a hoax as well. But either way, they use that system. Matter of fact, we use it against ourselves. Lighter shades against darker shades, and those privileged and non-privileged, the house Negroes and the field Negroes, and mentality wise, and oh man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then according to Wikipedia right here, the Willie Lynch letter is an address purportedly delivered by A. William Lynch to an audience on the bank of the James River in Virginia in 1712 regarding control of slaves within the colony. In recent years, it has been widely exposed as a hoax. Okay, you see there, people? You see there? You see there? The letter purports to be a verbatim account of a short speech given by a slave owner in which he tells other slave masters that he has discovered the secret to controlling black slaves by setting them against one another. The document has been in print since at least 1970, but first gained widespread notice in the 1990s when it appeared on the internet. Since then, it has often been promoted as an authentic account of slavery during the 18th century, though it has inaccuracies and anachronisms have led historians to conclude that it is a hoax. Okay. Now, once again, as we said, is that they will lie to our future generations, after those ones right there to prevent some type of retribution or to clean up their act or whatever, or try to promote, their how should we say, they're downplaying the horrors of it, okay? Just like what we did last night on Frontline Black News, Brother Che, where the white woman saying is all you people need to get over it, we're all the same and all this old type of business, you see. But why are they afraid of us exposing the truth on them? Now here in the chat, okay, Joe says, if God or aliens return right now, they want to know. They want no accountability. This is why they tried to kill biblical. Okay, and the last word you got in there, Joe, is biblical. Okay, all right. So once
whether
again,
they have the letter or not, they still have the Willie Lynch syndrome amongst our people. That's what I'm saying. We follow it to the letter.
Oh, absolutely.
As though it was a letter.
Yeah, and then look at old Frog Face of Alabama. Segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation tomorrow.
And they definitely tortured. They did the torturing and stuff that right out the Willie Lynch syndrome, to the like say the bucks, the bigger ones, the strongest. In other words, so that they wouldn't have the head of the family get a strong head of the family, torture him to death, and get the next one and beat him within an inch of his life. So he cowers, and then pretty much they got the women standing in front of the children, instead of the father standing in front of them all. Yeah, so we got to get that off, get that mentality away from our people. Black power.
Okay, and then to prove your point even further, Dynamite, let's look at the O.J. Simpson case. Let's look at Mark Furman. when he was with Crash, Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums. And man, and when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, man, it seemed like every damn day I was getting stopped by Crash. Okay, Mark Furman says you take 5 niggas, right? You beat the first one. Okay, you beat the second one worse than you did the first one. You beat the third one worse than the second one. And then you beat the third one worse than you did the second one. Then the fourth one is going to tell you what you want to know. Then the fifth one is going to confirm it. And I'm just wondering how many cases and convictions that those kangaroo courts of Los Angeles County got out of that doctrine. Still, the Willie Lynch doctrine. See, just like how they did Fannie Lou Hamer. They say, when they put her in jail, well, she was beaten on. You say, but they had black men to beat on her. You see what I mean? They had black men beat on Fannie Lou Hamer. You see? And then various other things that went against the civil rights workers that went unreported. We already know about the police dogs. You see? We already know about the fire hoses. You see? On our people right there. Then, of course, when the Black Empowerment Movement came about, you saw how that was handled. You see what I mean? And this is why they want our men folk to be effeminized. This is why, when our black boys start growing into manhood, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, the state want to control it. They want to keep us killing each other. You see what I'm saying? So they can make the genocide against us self-sufficient. And then when I make such statements, as you witnessed, Brother Che, as you witnessed Dynamite, when we had the podcast up on Blog Talk, Shabaka, you dirty black, SOB, you MF and N, you IGGER, and stuff like that. And what I tell them, you a witness, Brother Che, right. State how you honestly feel. Say, please do. Okay. And you could Google some of those past episodes that I've discovered on Spotify.
They're also on Spotify.
Yeah, on Spotify. And they ain't giving us not one damn dime. You see what I mean? Boy, how they systemically got this stuff set up. You see what I'm saying? But how come you're not with integration, Shabaka? Because integration is not with us. Integration and affirmative action mainly benefited, as Brother Che had pointed out, white women. Then not to mention the fact, people, 2004, 2006, I believe, you had the only black region at the University of California by the name of Ward Connolly that was trying to get an initiative on the ballot to get rid of affirmative action. See, that's that Alan Bakke shit out of California. And so if we got any elders with me here in my age group, they probably remember Alan Bakke, the Alan Bakke decision up there at the University of California at Davis. You see what I'm saying? Which is like about 40 miles west of Sacramento, I think. You say, well, those seats aren't being used. This is reverse discrimination. Okay, then when you white people say reverse discrimination, you are acknowledging the fact that discrimination does, in fact, exist. But we ain't supposed to realize the only way for our prosperity is to be a carbon copy of the slave.
Cruz, I sent you the link. You should have got it in your email. I sent you the link. Just like when they say reverse racism. Oh, well, then you're acknowledging racism exists.
Precisely. That there's like me coming up there, man. You invite me into your home, and I pull my Johnson out there and piss on the floor, then tell you, oh man, I couldn't hold it when there's a restroom right there. So what's supposed to happen to me after that point? I'm supposed to get smashed. Because that's a flagrant, deliberate insult. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Where'd you go, Black?
You see what I mean? This is what they do to us. You see? This is what they do to us.
Yep. All right, Shabaka, we should start getting toward our closing statements because we're technically in overtime.
Oh, okay. All right. So, hey, welcome to Shabaka's Black Experience here on StreamYard. We appreciate everybody coming on, and then also to apologize to those who I sent the link to that they didn't get on because they were saying is that they were having problems with it. So we don't know what StreamYard is up to. You know, they're pulling little rascal crap. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give everybody a call, you know, on that. And then definitely check with us on Frontline Black News. Check with us with Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, you see. So I'm going to be pulling up some more stuff off this idiot box, you know what I'm saying? See how other ways they trying to mess us around. All right, so it's a pleasant 100 degrees out here in Las Vegas. And to you OTBs, you know, for the next couple of weeks, come sit out here in the sun with me. But you got to leave your sunscreens and your umbrellas at home. And we can stand over there by the Las Vegas sign, you know, for about 5-6 hours. You know what I'm saying? You know, to prove another point. Okay, so on that, I land my plane.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in. Son, thoughts on the Rothschilds. They owe reparations too. That's my thoughts on the Rothschilds. They can eat shit and die. That's my thoughts on them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Belgians too, the French and the British. That part.
Okay, V, what's your closing statement? V or
got on
V40 back on the stage.
Oh, Crew's in there. Crew, what you have to say?
Well, let's see what.
Let's wrap it up.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
What's up, Crew? How you doing?
Hey, I just wanted to say what's up with y'all. Shabaka, what's up with you?
Hey, what's going on, Crew?
I hope I don't have to. Hold on, let me stop
you. Faded out, Crew.
Crew, fade out.
Oh, okay.
Go
ahead,
hey,
Crew.
can you hear me, Shabaka?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, clear.
Hey, Shabaka, I love your old crazy ass. I love your old crazy ass, but your ass is American Indian. You're not an African.
No, I'm a diasporic African, bro.
Hold
on a second. You
I love y'all.
You're on my platform. I'm a diasporic African. Now, if you want to identify, man, as that's up to you, brother. More power to you. So what's happening in the shot?
Man, at least I didn't run through a flood today.
Yeah, it's not
thank God. Thank God for that, man, because we saw it down there in the Carolinas yesterday. It's bad, man, because I've been in the shot, man, 95 degrees, 1,000% humidity, man. Then the rainstorms come off them Great Lakes and drench it. And then you can literally
and then
watch
you
the
say
water
black
dry.
folk don't live over here, Shabaka. And then you say black folk don't live over here. Yeah, we like the humidity and the heat and the cold, because it get cold up here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, well, you all off the Great Lakes, man. You all got a straight line of cold air straight from the North Pole coming across them Great Lakes, man. You know what I'm saying?
And it's always a guy at the gas station when you want to go buy your liquor. There's always a guy. Hey, bro, what's up? It's always one of them
let
guys.
me guess what he's selling. And let me guess
I've
what he's
known
selling.
this guy for 40 years. Hey, let me get a ride up the street. No, I'm going to work.
Yeah,
and you know my work is? I'm going to work because I'm finna jump on the stream with Jesse.
That's right. You know, it's all good. You know,
I'm gonna cuss out Shabaka because he think he African, even though he know he American Indian. But I'm gonna just cuss about the whole time.
No, brother, you know, just go check the logs of when I'm stopped by the LAPD, man, for about 30 years of my life.
Right. That was Queen Khalifa that started LA anyway. So
California.
Yeah, Queen
California, whole state of
Khalifa. Queen
California.
Khalifa.
Yep.
Now, and check this
Yeah.
out, crew. I'm gonna give you, and check this out, crew. I'm gonna give you some more fodder for your cannon.
You
And in
see
case don't
Chicago,
nobody
Jesse?
know,
Hey, Jesse, this the birds. You see this shit?
Yeah, I see it.
Let me cut my camera off. I'm finna go buy my magic drink.
all right, and then on top of that, there's well too Khalifa, which they named California after. You see, and also too, crew, to give you some more fodder against you. Now, in case don't nobody know what cannon fodder is, it is the material they use to explode the projectile that they're going out with. Okay, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, all that land was owned by a black woman at one time before the movie industry went out there. You see what I mean?
Eddie Mason.
And then on top of that, there too. Now let's look at all the slaves that were brought into California to mine that gold for them Texans and the Mississippi's. Well, there's gold in California in 1849. So what had happened was they was bringing their slaves there to do the actual physical labor of the gold. Okay. But then they'll get them up out of California because, see, at that time, once you crossed into California, you was technically free. They say they did that to a sister who got her gold and started her business down there on Spring Street in Los Angeles.
Free
Brother Isaiah gave me the,
Free Black America, Palestine. They stole that land from the black people that was over there during the biblical time.
Yeah.
That dude is cool. Just go in there and be cool with him. I'm going home. I just got off work.
No, I know you tired.
My bad, Jesse.
That's all good, crew. So what are your thoughts on why integration is not for us economically?
Why integration is what?
Why integration is not for us economically.
So I didn't have a problem with segregation. But like motherfuckers say, segregation was enforced by law.
Yep.
I have no problem with Jesse, if I don't like you, I just don't hang around you, right?
Right.
If I don't like Shabaka, I just don't hang around Shabaka, right?
Right.
So, but what's the problem with that, right? So, like the problem with segregation versus integration, right? It's a Harold's chicken right here, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for example, right? So this Harold's chicken is a black Harold's chicken, right?
Yeah.
So, but they had the white Chipotle up the street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't go to the white Chipotle, but they can come to our Harold's.
Yeah, just
that
like
is not
Golden
segregation.
Bird in Los Angeles. Yeah.
That's not segregation. If I can't go to your Chipotle, you can't come to my motherfucking Harold's.
Right.
Right.
You get me?
Golden Bird in the West.
Let it be like that. Let's let it be like that. Now, but it wasn't like that. It was, we can't go to their Chipotle, but they can go to their Chipotle and they can come to our Harold's.
That part.
Right.
You get me? So no, I don't go with that. Now, if it's gonna all be equal, you can't come to my shit, I can't come to your shit. Or if like your gas station, your Shell versus the BP, if the government gives all of them the same money, no problem. But you can't get a white gas station all this shit and don't get a gas station, the black gas station shit.
Right.
That was the problem with segregation. Because we're all paying taxes, but we're not all getting the returns from the taxes.
Right.
You right about that, man. Now you damn right about that, crew. Now I have to agree with you wholeheartedly on that there. What's that there you said, Brother Paris, a while back? Taxation without representation.
Exactly. And that's what they sent up the Boston Massacre and shit. You get me? That's what they did all that shit for, right? The Boston Tea Party and all of that, right? So if they can do that for them, why can't we do it for us niggas? Taxation.
Exactly.
Us niggas is paying the same damn taxes, sharecropping, doing all the same shit. But then we don't get the same schools. We don't get the same, you know what I mean? The same EBT, the same welfare and shit like the white folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're talking about wealth distribution. Say what the brother's
If I'm
speaking of is
paying the
the
taxes,
inequality
Shabaka,
of wealth distribution. Yeah, we
I'm
all
saying
pay
if I'm
tax.
paying the taxes, Shabaka, if I'm paying the
Yeah,
taxes, just like the white man's paying the taxes, where the government better give me the return.
Right.
yeah, yeah. You see what I'm saying? And
And
then
I
on
don't
top
get
of
the
it,
same shit that the white man gets from him paying
right.
taxes.
Yeah, and then also
That was
too,
the problem. That was the problem. That was what Martin Luther King was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He
yeah,
said we're like the Jim Crow shit. Nobody cares about segregation. I don't care about segregation. Y'all can be over there with your white parks playing frisbee golf. I really don't care.
like my
But what I'm
pet
saying
park.
is if I'm paying the same damn taxes as you white motherfucker,
Right.
I better get the same frisbee golf set up like y'all got.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You
That's
say,
all I'm saying.
yeah, you're
I'm
right.
paying
And
the
I,
same
and there
damn
is no
taxes y'all
argument with
paying.
undisputed truth. You know?
I'm paying the same damn taxes y'all paying.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So why the
You
hell I
damn
ain't
right.
getting the same damn benefits that y'all getting?
Because you colored.
Hey
We don't
Jesse,
want
hey
your
Jesse,
kind
hey Jesse,
around
hey
here.
Jesse, hey Jesse,
Like Stevie
Shabaka, right?
Wonder
Hey
said.
Jesse and
Yeah, like
Shabaka, right?
Stevie Wonder said, you might
Hey
have
Jesse,
the money, but you cannot cash in your face. We don't want your kind
let
living
me let me
here.
let me cut my camera back on so I saw y'all. I'm back in my crib and it's
Yeah, that's nice. I see your yard. That's real nice.
yeah, it's Olympia Fields, the richest black neighborhood in in America,
Oh, and
right?
in the work
Is
in the
that Indiana or
It's
Illinois?
Illinois.
Crew?
This is my mama house.
okay.
Oh,
Olympia
okay.
Fields. Olympia
Okay.
Fields.
Okay.
Olympia
Okay.
Fields.
That's nice.
Olympia Fields. Okay. Okay. And then
Remember Tyreek spoke about it?
Yes.
Remember Tyreek?
Yep. Yep, I remember.
mm-hmm.
And you see my ID, Jesse. You know where I stay at.
Yep.
You get me?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if we're paying the same damn taxes, look, if we all put in $5, right,
Mm-hmm.
on a
Mm-hmm.
blunt, right,
Yeah.
we get a 35, right, for 15, right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
think Shabaka get to be over there holding the blunt for a half hour?
No, man, I don't even smoke weed no more, brother.
No, you get what
yeah,
I'm saying, though, Shabaka.
yeah. I see your reason. You know, I see your reason. And then keep in
You
mind,
don't get to
man.
put $5 in. I put $5 in. Jesse put $5 in, and then you over there smoking for a half hour all
Right.
by yourself.
Right.
Where the
Yeah,
hell is
something
me and
wrong.
Jesse? $5.
Right.
Yeah, but here's something for you, crew,
Pass
that
that
blew
shit.
my
Pass
mind.
that shit.
Here's something for you, crew. When I was in a shy, man, in the 1970s, they telling me you got to pay $6 for a nickel bag of weed and $12 for a dime, man. And I says, but only in Chicago, man, would you see
Yeah,
some
but that's
shit
because
like that.
but that's because Chicago we had that good shit. You gotta
Yeah,
pay the
but keep
extra
in
$2.
mind, now keep in mind, if
You
you go to
gotta pay
South
the extra
Central LA
$2.
with that, man, you're gonna have some problems, bro. I'm just letting
Man,
you know.
cause LA got bunk shit. LA used to smoking garbage weed.
Yeah, but see, but California allow us to grow it now, man. Go up there to
Yeah,
Tehama
but all
County,
they shit
man.
is
That's
weak.
all you gonna smell.
All they shit is weak. Shabaka. All Cali shit is weak. Illinois shit is weak. The best shit is in Michigan.
Oh, is
And I'm
that
gonna
right?
start a feud right now. But
Yep.
the best
Well, I ain't
Colorado is
mad at
even
you,
whack.
man.
Colorado is whack.
No
Okay,
problem.
now you know Jesse loved them ponies, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and now Lady
And
Tay gonna
later
wake
for
up.
them ponies,
Lady Tay,
Jesse.
Lady
Broncos.
Tay about to wake up talking about, man, it's good.
Yeah, later for them ponies, man. Put them back in a barn, man. And then get this here, crew. Guess who I'm gonna start supporting again, man? And I ain't supported them since 1985. The Bears.
Oh Lord. Hey, Shabaka, my step pops is up. He's old as you. He be talking that Pan African shit too. He's still
Yeah,
up listening. He's still up listening to I don't know, John Henry Clark or something. Let me go listen to him.
Yeah. John Henry Clark was heavy. He was a man before his time.
John
And then
Henry Clark
also
was a
too.
liar.
Yeah, he was.
No, I don't think he was. And I'm still trying to find a student, brother Che
I'm
or
on the
Marimba
screen. I'm
Ani.
talking to somebody as old as you. I said, my
The old as dirt.
right.
One live long enough, Sonny, and you'll be
See
old
how,
as
how you
dirt
sound?
too.
You see how you sound? You sound like he old as you.
Yeah, we'll live long enough, Sonny, and you'll
Hey,
be old
Shabaka,
too.
Shabaka, say hello to Sam.
Greetings,
That's my
brother.
pop.
Greetings. How you
Sam
doing,
is-
sir?
Hey, Shabaka.
How you doing, man? I'm up here telling these youngins, man, they think they're going to be young forever, man. But we'll get back with them, man, about 20 years, man, when they start going on walkers, looking for Social Security that
You
won't
10
be
years
there,
younger than
you know.
you. You sound like you're older. You right, man. They want to be young forever. Even though their age go up, they still act like they're too young.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But when they start
He
coming
going to
crazy,
bed,
man.
Shabaka. He going to bed, Shabaka.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out. You see this?
Yeah.
You see this? This
Yep.
the library. It's the library. You get me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I wish
But
y'all
see,
would stop playing with me. I wish y'all would stop playing with me.
I got books for
That's my pops. That's my step pops. And you know who his
Okay.
mentor is, Shabaka?
Who that?
Haki Matabuti.
I met Haki Matabuti. I met him and
Yeah.
his wife. They was doing a book
Well,
signing
yes,
over
I
there
went
in
to
South
school with
Central
Haki.
LA.
I went to school with Haki's son, and Haki
Okay.
is my dad's mentor.
Okay.
Like I know
And
them.
I met him and
I
his wife
drop him
very
at the airport all the time. I know him, like
okay.
personally.
Out there at O'Hare. Out at O'Hare.
Yes, O'Hare, Midway, wherever the hell he gonna go. He live right out here in Country Club Hills.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other
All
black
right.
neighborhood. The other black neighborhood better than Olympia Fields. Country Club Hills.
Country Club.
Yes, sir. And then I remember one time I was in the Shy, man. I see y'all got a section of town called Beverly Hills.
Yes, that's Beverly. That's the south side of the Beverly, south side.
Okay.
111th. That's
Okay.
my brother went to school over there. That's where Morgan Park. That's where Morgan Park and Morgan Park Academy is in Beverly, 111th and Western.
Okay.
That's the Beverly neighborhood. I'm from Chicago. I was born in Chicago.
Yeah, I was born in Crook County too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but you the crook.
No, how am I? I
They
want to make this
switched
perfectly
you at
clear.
birth. They
Okay,
switched you
I
at
want to
birth.
make this perfectly clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey Jesse.
I am not a
Hey
crook.
Jesse. Hey Jesse.
Yeah.
You see, I'm just messing with Shabaka. I said they switched him at birth.
I heard.
Yeah.
Shabaka, they switched you with a white man.
No, they didn't do that. You ought to see the crap I get from these crackers, man, up here. Oh, I mean to say you European Americans, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
So
not like
where Shabaka? How was you born in Chicago? How was you born in Chicago and say you not from America?
okay. But the simple fact is, if we was truly American citizens, brother, there would not have been no need for the NOI. There would have been
I'm
no
still
need for
waiting. Hey
the
Shabaka,
party.
you can own
There
a
would
gun,
have not
right?
been no
Hey
need for the
Shabaka, you can own a gun and practice Christianity.
Now that's funny.
You can own a gun and practice Christianity, right?
Funny you should say that.
Or Judaism or Islam if you want to, right?
Yeah, but there was a white
and have a gun while you're doing it, right?
Yep.
So how the hell do you say you're not American?
Because if I was American, man, you know, I would be having jail records with the LAPD. You know what I'm saying?
I got a jail record too. I still got a gun.
Pulled over by crash on the
I got a jail record like a motherfucker, and I still got a gun.
Hey, that's Chicago, man.
I deleted a white supremacist, and I still have a gun. I still have several guns.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that, bro.
Look it up. Google my name, Ray Gun Fargo.
Yep.
Just Google my name. Google my name, Raymond Gun, Fargo, North Dakota. And then that's proof. That's proof. That's proof. That's all you got to do is Google it. Just Google it. Just Google it.
Fargo, North
Google
Dakota.
it.
I've been to Montana.
Just Google Raymond Gun, Fargo, North Dakota, and that proves it. Stop arguing, Shabaka. You said prove it. I just proved it. Google my name.
How do we know that the information's authentic?
Jesse, what's wrong with him? He said show proof. I said Google my name.
All right, well, man, you Google my name, you're gonna see a bunch of jail records.
Did you Google my name yet? Did you Google my name yet?
Nah, I did though. I already know.
I mean, it's real easy, Shabaka.
Man,
it's real easy. Just Google my name.
Oh, that's
just Google my name, Ray Gun.
Ray Gun.
Fargo, North Dakota. It's easy. Just Google my name and that proves everything.
Wow. Okay. Who am I to say that you ain't who you say you is? You know what I mean? You know? I take your word for it, bro. Who knows? Maybe if I'm shy one time, I
just
have to come you up to watch my back.
I've already done it.
Hey, just you up to watch your back.
So, but what's Shabaka? What's Shabaka complaining about? Like it's that easy.
You can check out Valley News Live. Valley News Live did a whole article on him. AP News did a whole article on him. In Forum did a whole article on him.
On who? Shabaka?
On me.
Raymond.
Oh, okay. Hey, Win Lose, what's up? See, Win Lose is in here with it. Okay,
well, go changing the subject again.
I just found it. Type in Ray Gun, Fargo, North Carolina on Google.
North Dakota.
North Dakota on Google, and it'll pop right up.
Instantly, the top shit. You'll see my face instantly. You will see my face. This face. You will see my face instantly. You Google that. Raymond Gun, Fargo. Boom, don, 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 don. White supremacy is gone.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, get stopped by the LAPD. You would love the experience.
Man, fuck the LAPD. Fuck the LAPD. You let a white boy in Fargo pull a knife on you. What you gonna do, Shabaka?
Dump on him.
You gonna call LAPD?
No, I'm dump on his ass.
From North Dakota. No, you don't carry guns, remember? And it's too cold in North Dakota for you to be there anyway.
Well, you're right about that, but I lied when I said I don't carry guns.
Man, that little pea shooter, that little 22 you got.
Man, you can do a lot of damage with a double deuce, homie. Shoot him in the knee.
Shabaka, did you look me up yet? Did you look me up yet?
Yeah, no, but Brother Che did. I take Brother Che's word for it.
Yeah, just type in Ray Gun.
Okay, Ray Gun. Hold on. Do I use a capital R or just go Ray Gun?
It doesn't matter. Ray Gun, 2 N's, and then put Fargo.
Okay, Ray Gun, Fargo. Okay. All right, Ray Gun, Fargo, search bar. Raymond Gun found not guilty of murder one. Is that you?
Yep.
That would be me.
Okay.
I did shoot that white supremacist. I did shoot him with that gun that I have on my hip right now.
Okay, and that's
the police gave me back.
Glasses on.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's me.
Suit, man. You should have had your tie more closer there to your collar, man. But that's a nice cut on that suit. Fargo, North Dakota, the man accused of shooting and killing another man.
Hey, Ray Gun, beautiful trophy, man. Beautiful trophy.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I don't like to cause bro, he was off meth and shit. I really don't like to claim it as a trophy, but it is what it is. I went through combat and I won. I'm speaking of the firearm, but salute.
Yes.
Well, salute, brother. Salute.
I don't like it because I still cried over this because you taking a night. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree, but what was you
But I
gonna
had
do?
to do what I had to do what I got to do.
It was
Shit.
either you or him, man. You know what I'm
The,
saying?
the, the man was trying to take my damn gun from me.
Oh no, that's absolute no.
There's a
That's
link.
absolute no. Mm-hmm.
Right. What you gonna do, Shabaka? If I come try to take your knife from you, gonna cut me, right?
Right.
Pretty much. More
Right.
than
If
one.
Right. Say stop touching my knife. Stand back, nigga.
Yeah.
So dude was trying to take my gun, dog. He was trying to take my gun.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I see you
And then when
standing
I
for
popped
the
him. And then I went and put bandages on him. I said, bro, why did you make me do that? No, like really, Shabaka, like really. Like you see how me and you get into it in the chat and shit, and we be arguing and shit. And I'm like, dog, Shabaka, I'm not really on that shit with you. I'm just saying, hey, bro, this is what I think. This is what you know what I mean? But like, don't grab my shit. Don't do shit to me, cause I'll fuck you up.
Well, let's just say, man, you add dynamism to the show.
Man, I love you, Shabaka, but you give me like I'm not gonna murk you on purpose.
Right.
You get me? Like I'm gonna be like, man, Shabaka, stop hitting me. If I uppercut you and you hit the ground, damn, that's what happened. But I'm not trying to hurt you.
I come with this overhand right, man, and connect. You know what I'm saying? And then your eyes roll back in your head. I'm gonna try to get you some medical attention.
Hey, Tay. Just if me and you get into it, right, and I push you, oops, you hit the ground, right? Oh, you bumped your head. I didn't mean to do shit to you, right? I was just saying, get up off of me. Be cool.
Yeah.
You get me? I'm just saying, like, get the fuck up off of me.
Yeah, you just tell him back, give you 50 feet. He just
that's all.
He have to be dealt with.
And then if a nigga trying to take your weapon off of you, Jesse, what do you got to do?
Lay him down.
Yeah,
he trying to take your weapon off you. He trying to take your weapon off you.
Yeah, he's trying to disarm you.
Down. Lay him down.
Exactly. You see? Because everybody got the right to live. To quote HP, if it takes a breath of life, if it's born and it takes a breath, it has a right to live. See? That's why he had the philosophy that the Panther was a defensive fighter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're all defensive fighters.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
we don't go. Hey, look, we don't go out, Shabaka, Jesse, win, lose. We don't go out going punching people.
Right.
We go out with our people and we chill. You get me?
Exactly.
We go buy our food. We go bowling. We go skating. Whatever. Swimming. Whatever. We do what we do and chill. And then people bother us, and then we have to react.
Right.
And then we go to ponies and Raider games. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. As bad as the Chicago Bears is, you Raiders don't do nothing this year. I'm switching my loyalty back to the Shy.
Hey, Shabaka, stop talking about my Bears, man. You always have to throw in my Bears, man.
Hey, man, I love
you. Lucky you was born in Chicago. Otherwise, I have to get on you, cause man, you don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna talk like Afro Lee. Don't do that. I'm gonna talk my Chicago shit. Don't do that, Shabaka. For after Andre Dawson, your ass. Cause I know you was born on the South Side.
Pretty much.
Andre Dawson will knock your ass to the North Side. And I know you be hanging out, Shabaka. I know you be hanging out on the North Side.
No.
In Boys Town and shit.
No, man.
Hey Jesse, get him. Shabaka be in Boys Town.
No, that's why I don't go to San Francisco, man. You have to prep yourself when you go to
Right.
San Francisco, man, because it is totally twisted over there. But when you get back over there in Panther Town, man, hey, it's all the way
Hey,
live.
Shabaka be in Boys Town and San Francisco all day.
No, sir. I only go to SF, man, when it's absolutely necessary. Other than
Hey,
that, man,
Hey, Shabaka, I'm just fucking with you.
yeah, when I'm up there
I'm just
north,
messing with you.
yeah. But I
Cause
do
you know
recommend.
it'd be Jesse that be over there in Boys Town.
No, the hell we
No,
don't.
Jesse ain't that kind of guy. I know for a fact
I was-
Jesse ain't that kind of guy. You know what I mean? And then too, Jesse, you remember when we were supposed to hook up, man, and they came with that virus, you know what I'm saying? Because you and I was gonna go cuss out that old raggedy witch Ann Coulter up there at UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was a cold shot. And then get this here. Got a gun. You know, after little Neil got murdered at the MacArthur BART
hey,
station.
hey, Shabaka. You know this
Yeah.
is me, Crew, right?
Oh yeah, Crew. Yeah. Okay.
Got
Now
a
get this.
gun. That's me, Crew. That's Ray Gun. That's Crew, right? That's me, the same person.
Same dude.
Yes, sir. Okay. And you
The
remember
same person that been cussing you out the last 3 weeks.
Oh man. Well, take a
Cause
number, man.
Cause you're American Indian. You're not
No,
African.
sir. I'm a diasporic African. Go talk to the American Indians, and they're gonna say to you like they said to me, and I was by myself. How come you black folks went up there and helped the white man against us? And I had to tell them,
I can't believe the Native Americans they got here in 1850. Got you thinking the 1850 Native Americans got you thinking that they are the American Indians that would be us FBA.
Correct.
That's been here for 90,000 years. America is older than Africa, Shabaka.
no, it's not.
We got older pyramids than Africa.
Sir.
Hold on.
Africa was
Do
the
you see
cradle
my
of
picture?
civilization.
Hold on. Do you see my picture? You see my picture, Shabaka, right? Do you know where
Let's see.
my picture is at? You
Okay,
see my
hold
picture?
on. Look like you standing by Lake Michigan with your family.
No. I'm with my daughter that's on the left, and I'm with the African girl that's on the right. I'm at Cape Coast Castle in Ghana.
Okay. Oh, is that
That's
right?
Cape Coast.
Okay.
That's Cape Coast Castle in Ghana.
Okay. I had
That
relatives
is
that.
that's the Atlantic Ocean behind me.
Yep.
Okay.
That's looking towards the United States. Well, no, it's looking south because Ghana. It looks south. But yeah, that's the Atlantic Ocean behind me. Cape Coast
Okay,
Castle.
now riddle me this here, y'all. Riddle me this. Now, this is a little bit beyond your time. Ask your pops on this here, Crew. Why did Ali put it in the contract that when he regained the heavyweight title from Big George in 1974, it had to be in Africa?
Because he wanted to put Africa on.
Mm-hmm. And what did they say as soon as he got off the plane all the way until the night he won the fight? Ali,
They tried to take his title from him. They tried to take his this from him, but he still went and did it with Africa because he likes melanated people. Because Pan-Africanism only came from America. It did not come from Africa.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Let me turn back some books here, man. I got all these books right here. I got to turn back.
I'll wait.
Okay, so the Pan-African movement started with Garvey, right?
No, it started with Black Americans, and it never finished with Africans at all.
It started with Martin.
Okay. It started with who? Yeah.
Martin Delaney.
Brother. Yeah, because we just did a story on Martin Delaney. And keep in mind, Martin Delaney, off information I read, is that his grandparents were from the continent. You see what I mean? See, people, the thing is you got to understand, Africa was the birthplace of civilization. And you've heard me, Brother
No,
Jay,
it's not.
argue
No, it's not. That's a lie. That's a lie. America is older than Africa.
No.
But then why the hell? Okay, Shabaka. So why do America have pyramids that are older than African pyramids?
Sir, I've never seen no pyramids in America.
Why does Egypt say that? Why does Egypt say that they got maize from the people that were beyond the Sahara, across the ocean beyond the Sahara, and that was a gift from the gods. Where did maize come from? That built Egypt.
Man, I've been going through my books right here, and I don't see nothing about no maize in Africa. No, I'm not saying
Read that came before Columbus. Ivan Van Sertima, your African guy. He said it himself. He said it himself. Read the last 3 chapters perfectly.
Okay,
read the last 3 chapters.
Man, but bro, you have to understand, Columbus was a drunk and he didn't wash his ass.
Okay, but you're right. So, but I'm not worried about Columbus. I'm not worried about Columbus because we were here before Columbus, before that drunkard got here. We were here before that drunkard. We were here before that drunkard got here.
And
Columbus never even set foot. Columbus never set foot on North America.
Nope.
Well, regardless if he did or he didn't, I don't place
God! I said we were here before Columbus. Columbus was in the islands and he wrote his books. Columbus was in the islands and he wrote his books about the fucking copper-colored Negroes that were here.
Yep.
Okay, then tell me, how come them women ain't got no ass? How come them women is flat as
what does that have to do with anything?
And that
what does that have to? Who doesn't have ass? Who doesn't have ass? Jamaican girls, Trinidadian girls.
No, them Native American women, they as flat as iron.
That's because they're Siberian. They came after Columbus. I'm talking about the American Indians.
Sir, and I'm talking
so
about
American. No, right. So that's where you fucked up. We're talking about American Indians.
Sir.
And they can dance and they got ass.
You could go wave your red, white, and blue flag, but like I said, check out
Jesse. Would you get him? Jesse, would you get him? Please explain what I'm explaining to him.
Yes, Shabaki. The black aboriginals was here. The Washita, the Yamasee, the Iroquois. They was here before anybody by the name of Columbus came anywhere over to this part of the world.
Okay, but please put up my clip.
And dancing and shaking their ass. And dancing and shaking their ass.
And please put up my clip of Marion McKeever.
I gotta search.
You should still have it. You should still have it, Jesse.
I got 1,001 windows open, Shabaki. Let me try to pull it up.
Yeah.
I gotta close some windows too, Jesse. Jeez.
And look what Sister Miriam said. And she was exiled from South Africa, and then when she went back to South Africa or Azania, they wouldn't let her out. I wonder why.
Because them South Africans were slave catchers.
Yeah, just like Stinky Bird.
Yeah, just like Queen Nzinga, the slave catcher.
No, Queen Nzinga was in Wakanda, brother. That's nowhere near Azania. It was called Angola. And
right, she was a slave catcher.
Okay, no,
just like the homie.
No, brother, she wasn't a slave catcher. And like I said, a million.
Yes, she was. The only thing she wanted,
sir.
Jesse, I've already been through it.
Sir, when them lying, white, unclean,
all Queen Nzinga wanted was to get a bigger rank. All Queen Nzinga wanted was all Queen Nzinga wanted was a higher ranking in the slave trade. That's all she wanted was higher ranking in the slave trade. That's the only reason she fought the Europeans.
Portuguese said that she was a damn colony of Portugal. She says, "Motherfucker, do you care to repeat that?" And they
captured slaves. Either that's true or it's not true. She captured slaves. Either that's true or it's not true. Did she capture slaves or not?
No, she did.
No, that's a lie. She did capture slaves.
Because she was lied to, brother. Like all of
them. So she captured slaves.
Always do. Divide.
She captured slaves. She captured slaves and sold them to the Europeans.
And
for
then
trinkets.
The Europeans came there and kidnapped their motherfucking asses too, as the goddamn slave market.
That's what happened. Hey.
But bro,
yes, because white supremacy always breaks their tools.
Sir.
White supremacy always breaks their tools.
Read Lerone Bennett.
Queen Nzinga was a tool.
Sir.
You're a tool.
Lerone Bennett. Okay, there it is right there.
Lerone Bennett, man, Lerone Bennett.
Hold on,
Man,
crew.
fuck
Hold on.
Lerone Bennett. Fuck
Hold
Lerone
on,
Bennett.
brother. Hold on. All
Hold
right,
on,
go ahead, play Sister Miriam right here. And then I'm gonna unmute a man there.
That Africa only had black people. Europe had white people. Asia had yellow people. Now, it is absurd to say that we Africans were not in Africa when white people first came. And secondly, the conqueror writes history. They came, they conquered, and they wrote. Now, you don't expect people who came to invade us to write the truth about us. They will always write negative things about us. And they have to do that because they have to justify their invasion in all the countries. It's like saying when the Europeans went to America, there were no Indians there. It's ridiculous because they were there. I know that my people were there. We don't write our history. It has always been handed down to us orally by our elders. Of course, the white man came and he writes history. In fact, you don't know anything about any place until the white man gets there.
So when
Like
the
my husband
Africans say
always
that
says,
oral history,
it's
but you
like
don't believe
saying,
Americans'
well,
oral history, huh,
until the white
Shabaka?
man comes to any place, nothing
Listen to what
lives.
the sister
It's
says.
only when he comes and say, "Boof, I've discovered you. Now you exist," which is
That
ridiculous.
part.
There is really no
Now that
difference
part. What do you got to
So
say
then
about
when
that,
we say
crew?
that, when we say, yeah,
What do
when
you
we
got to
say
say
that
about
about,
that, crew?
so when we say that same thing about us American Indians, oh, you don't believe it unless the white man told you.
No, I don't believe shit the white man tells me. I don't
So
believe
when I'm
shit that
telling
a
you,
brain dead
so when
ass
I'm
fat
telling you,
Negro tells me.
so Shabaka, when I'm telling you that my grandmother says she's a Creek Indian and my other grandmother is Blackfoot, what do you? So what? Now I'm African because the white man said I'm African, but my two
Bruh,
grandmothers told me I'm American
bruh,
Indian.
bruh.
So what am I? So what
Excuse me,
am I,
sir.
Shabaka?
I'm not going to comment on your family lineage, okay? Because if you want to believe that, that's your family story, man. More power
Well,
to
I
you.
gotta believe
Just
it.
stay
My
we the
grandmother
same.
told me that,
Listen, okay,
Shabaka. My
sir,
grandmother told my
sir,
two grandmothers
sir,
told me that. So I gotta
sir,
believe it because my
sir,
grandmothers told me that. You making
sir.
it sound.
Who am I, sir? Who am I to tell you, man, what your
Where is your
grandmother did not
African
tell you?
ancestry? Where's your African
From the
ancestry?
Fulani, from the Fulani, out of the
Where?
West.
Where? Your grandmother's Fulani? Your great grandmother's Fulani? Let me see
No,
where
that's
you.
it.
Where's your Fulani shit? Or you talk about a DNA test? Where's your real?
Fuck a
Trace your
DNA
shit
test.
back. No, so
Okay.
trace your shit back. Where's your
No,
great grandmother?
motherfucker, I'm
Where's
telling
your
you
so is
again,
they?
and I'm gonna tell
So
your
are they
goddamn
Fulani?
thing.
Is your great great grandmother Fulani?
Check this out, bro.
Is
Check
your
this
great
out.
is your great great grand is your great great grandmother?
Bye. Okay. I'm not gonna sit up here and go back and forth over the same shit that I already said. Okay. Sorry, I had to kick them out the studio. Well, everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm out.
The National Guard will be out on the streets of D.C. this morning. They're joining residents and police in an attempt to cut down on crime. Ron Talley is live at police headquarters with the latest. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Daria. If anyone thought that this latest crackdown on crime by Chief Larry Salisbury was short-lived, they can think again. It continues in mass. 15 more arrests yesterday in one raid alone. 2 weeks ago, Chief Salisbury promised to move his desk officers onto the streets, and now he's struck a deal to get neighborhood street patrols help from the National Guard. If nothing else, the sight of military-type vehicles set up for night patrols in D.C.'s residential neighborhoods gives the appearance the district is serious about its latest assault on crime. Members of the D.C. Air and National Guard are now helping police and neighbors patrol some of the district's more drug and crime-infested streets. The goal here is to interrupt drug sales that have plagued this neighborhood. Drug sales that have in the past led to violence and murder.
We're assisting the Metropolitan Police Department in Neighborhood Watch Crime Prevention in the D.C. metropolitan area.
The other plan of attack to take back the streets includes full-scale raids on the drug dealers, like this one on an open-air drug market in Columbia Heights that netted some 15 arrests. With 80 to 90 officers taking part on this raid alone, it's the latest, most visible sign of Chief Larry Soulsby's all-out assault on crime in the district, aimed not only at drugs, but also the gangs who deal them, and the rowdy night spots where they meet.
We are in this area to stay. We're in this area to help the community take back the community so they can walk these streets and enjoy the same freedoms everyone else does.
Well, then one drug raid netted some 85 grams of crack cocaine, street value $10,000. Daria?
What have residents been telling you out there? Are they happy about this? Looks like a war zone.